I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Man's in love with a beautiful stranger.
See, I have no idea if that's from the same song.
It is.
I got this song stuck in my head and I don't know how it goes. Now I got to make up lyrics.
If anyone could give you an STD through their music, it would have to be Madonna at the top, right?
Probably. It's probably pretty safe.
That or Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I said Taylor Swift earlier. The girlfriend was like, "Oh, why is that?" I'm like, "Have you seen the list of guys? Come on."
Yeah. But I mean, Taylor Swift will give you an STD you can get cured from.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the
Madonna
punchline.
won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madonna won't.
that talks like a guy that's never had penicillin shot into his hips. That's what they do for
Cortisone.
syphilis.
So,
But that's different though.
Yeah.
yeah, did you hear about the new HIV drugs?
No.
Ivy?
Twice a year, almost complete remission.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm on back order.
I bet you are.
Why, you got
They're like,
HIV?
No, I
the
don't, but
social
just in
credit score's
case,
not
you know,
high enough.
I don't want to sit on a toilet and end up like mine.
Wow,
Just
we're not
gonna-
even 2 minutes in yet. Calm
Dial
down,
it
man.
in. Dial it in.
Well, we are a minute and 30 plus seconds in, so we've missed the
9-second
the opportunity
window.
to get banned by YouTube by using curse words. So
Curse words.
yeah, you can't say
Was it the
something.
F word?
Yeah, I think it's like the first 7 seconds.
Boy, Roland dropped like $30 in 3 parts.
Yes, he did. We got a lot of
Monster.
super
Out
chats.
there. Hey, more.
Yep. TG,
I
baby.
feel like I've seen this before.
Right?
You have.
I have a deja vu. Something changed in the Matrix. Gosh.
Whoa. They call me Quicks, man. Not quick enough.
Deadpool, it's on the Green Machine. You just gotta click the button for it to play. It's playing for me.
Welcome to the show now. Yeah. I remember while I was working on this song, I listened to that song War.
Oh, I can kind of hear it, yeah. But the remake that they did for He Got Game, not the original. It's the He Got Game. Who got game? He got game.
Nah, I like the original.
Wait, was that War that they did? Jacob, you should know this. Who did that song for He Got Game?
Are you asking because he's
Why
black?
why would I know that?
What? No, because he's a movie reviewer, you
Oh,
bigots.
sure. Okay.
For the same reason Token on South Park knows how to play bass.
Yep.
Right?
It's like, hey, you watch Tyler Perry movies, right?
Yeah, of course. Wait,
Yes.
that wasn't a question?
Hey, I've seen Soul Plane and Undercover Brother. I understand.
Excuse me, sir, would you... Your
Yes.
name's the Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus? Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism? Help Jerry's kids?
How about poetic justice?
Badass.
Dolomite.
Blackula. Entertainment that always rises to the occasion.
The one thing we don't do on Thursday Night Throwdown
Yeah, we
is
do.
screw around.
The wood.
We don't.
By the way, have you guys seen Toxic Man Flu naked in
Loving
the shower?
basketball?
It's like really disgusting. Like somebody vomited in blood. Like
Oh, that's a good one. I got the hookup.
Every time I see him, I want to shave my eyeballs with a razor. We are literally the same height.
No, I'm definitely taller, comics.
Jeff Elu.
We got your
That's
back,
funny.
comics. You okay back there, Nick?
Bravo Bolt to TNT command. Target is locked.
You better not have that.
That's a
rig on.
confirmed hit. Target is down.
Oh, I get the helicopter because I'm the fat kid. That's bull. You, Kurtzman!
I don't have any hands and feet, comics. I can't fly a plane.
You are a little bit retarded.
Only a little.
I had a full-blown one in my theater.
Epic Mike should do a blaxploitation movie with his hair.
Well, it's out. The question is it any good? We'll be getting into that. I'm going to say here's the rest of the panel, despite the fact that 2 of our panel members are still missing. One is driving back home from the theater, and the other one is probably doing the same thing. So we will be saving the review of Deadpool Wolverine until they get here. So
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. What? What?
What?
What?
Call me
In the
JY.
meantime, there's that.
We should do a Gregorian chant of that. That would be awesome.
Is that what that New Zealand, not football, what rugby team does? The
Gregorian chant. Oh no, that's tribal.
It's not called a hakua. What is it called?
Well, here
Oh my God.
Haktua.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the translation? It's all like, I hope both of us have really good games and we're all safe and happy. I'm like, what is this? Because it comes off so aggressive, but it's really nice, actually.
Yeah, that's true. That's a warrior stance. Yeah, you.
Hi, Brahma.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Welcome,
I'd like
sir.
to say I really like how those headphones accent the egg shape of your dome there, bro.
Thank you. They're mads.
Nice.
Oh, don't even get me started.
All right. Well, speaking of getting started, roll the register for $10. You guys were talking about beards on Meltdown and forgot Tox has the biggest beard of all. Mrs. Flu.
Oh, great.
Gay. So fucking gay. Super fucking gay. I love y'all. Love you, Tox.
That makes you gay.
He
If
does
you
a
love
long
me, it
time.
does. Yes.
Indeed.
And
Rolling
it's
for another
not
$10
if you
is
say
a movie
$10.
idea. Ian and Culture did a dig. Is it did or dig? I guess he means dig a grave.
I think did a grave because I think he wants you two to have sex with a grave.
That's
Or in a grave.
weird. Did a grave for in the Nevada to bury me.
So it
After
was
getting
dig a
the grave deep enough, they realize they can't get out. Call it 127 weeks because it took that long to dig the grave.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, what would it be? A 3'4", 4 foot?
I think Ryan Reynolds already did that movie, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing a midget.
Roll the
Not
register for
Gary
$10. Television show, Star Trek, The Gay Generation, starring Toxis Ensign.
I thought that's the last Star Wars.
Really
Really,
bend over.
really
Is it
bend over.
Really bend over. Okay, there we go. Assigned to the USS.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Under the command of Wesley
of
Crusher.
Captain Wesley Crusher, Ensign bend over just once to please his captain.
It's starting to sound like he's just telling us all of his gay
Wow.
fanfic that he has on you guys. Like, ooh, what about this one?
Your Vegas shirt
You're not
is
big
going to
until
be
this-
so flaming. It's going to be able to be seen from space.
Are you talking about me?
Mads?
Because that is
No,
very
or
offensive.
Rollins?
Honestly,
No, I'm talking about
man,
Rollins.
Oh, okay.
We have to face the truth in this situation, and it's the fact that you're not big until there's homoerotic gay porn of you.
Yeah, I write my own all the time, bro.
So-
I just love how culture rolls in eating,
And
stuffing
I'm
his face.
huge.
High culture.
Culture doesn't give any shits.
My
That's
mouth
funny.
still
Don't
doesn't
let us
work.
interrupt you, culture.
TVG
Daddy
Monster for
chill.
$2 says hi comics culture, Corey, Tom, Rama, and Nick.
Yeah.
Try that one again there, TGV, and it better be $10 at least.
Oh,
You miss somebody.
All right, Jaffa for $4.99 says culture, he's our man. If he can't do it, Then there isn't anyone queer enough. Sorry, I couldn't. I couldn't. Couldn't make it rhyme on such short notice. Okay, got it.
Wow. Oh,
Indeed.
This is for you, Jeffo.
Oh, good Lord, no. However,
I don't think I've seen that one.
we do
We'll show it. We'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Or not.
I'm trying to find something to play for Roland because that was like $30. So we'll do
for
two
Roland.
yeah.
Sure. You know what we'll do?
No.
Here we go. If you are looking for something to do this weekend and you just happen to be near Swallow Hill, Delaware, then why not join the Pixel Nation at the 2nd annual Joe Biden Bike Fest?
Wow.
That's right. Join us and you can bike with one of the many presidential body doubles throughout the beautiful countryside of the first state in our union. Featuring 3 times the emergency medical vehicle last year's disastrous event, this year's Joe Biden Bike Fest promises to be a great time for all, especially you ladies with long hair. Now, don't forget to visit this year's sponsors, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours. When life has got you down, let Pinochet's Helicopter Tours give you a lift to the clouds.
Stuff in the background.
Pinochet's is offering 30% off companion
I've heard
tickets
this one
from
enough.
their brand new location at the Division Ranch.
The Bike
in
Fest reminds me
Bangs,
of Action
Texas.
Park for some reason.
Pinochet Helicopter Tours.
We had
is
to
your
come up with one
tour,
for Kamala
your
now.
last tour. And of course, Muff's Bar. Oh, that's easy. Home to the biggest clams in the
Yes,
South.
I know,
Muff's
it is.
located
It's
at
too easy.
6969
Kamala Harris
Kamala
stars in
Wanalea
Cinderella.
Boulevard in
When this
glistening
Kamala,
Clay
or when
City,
this Cinderella
Texas.
gets to the ball, all
Dive
you
into
hear is
Muff's
gold.
Bar. Finger licking good since
Yeah,
it's too easy.
1969.
Yeah,
right.
let me do a pass before you actually make it into a video.
Yep.
Punch it up.
Why? So you can make it even less funny?
Bro, nobody believes you. Are you kidding?
All right, Agmar
You are
WK,
hilarious. Absolutely.
$1.99. Good evening, brochachos. Hail to the chat and panel. Hello to you.
Hi. Was that Egmar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Egmar.
TVG Monster for $5. I saw Deadpool Wolverine. It was great. It's a joy to see characters respected in a movie that was just fun. Hugh Jackman may be over 50, but still is still toes hot.
Agreed.
Yeah, he is in good fucking shape. He's when was the last movie he was in as Wolverine? Like full length movie?
Logan?
Yeah, that was 2017.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking A, dude. He was pretty ripped then, and he's still pretty fucking ripped now.
I thought he was the MVP of the movie, and I also thought, why aren't you saving this for a movie that you could actually win something for? It was way too much effort for a Deadpool movie. You know what I mean? He acted his ass off in this.
Yeah, we'll get to that. TVG Monster gifted 1 membership.
Thank you. That's it. Yeah. That's the gift that keeps on giving. TGV Monster gets tonight's Herpes Award from the Dix Division.
And also Agmar, WK, get to 5 memberships.
Hail.
I'm just saying random shit.
Okay, that's fine. TVG Monster for another $5. Playing Elden Ring and just wanted to say Dragon Lord is a big meanie and yeah, I can't see the dragon's name. Is a big meanie and can go to the bad place for bad meanies, and so can Melina.
It may be Cajun, so it'd be like Placidua.
It's
could be
French.
I'll say it, boy.
It's Placebo the Dragon. Oh, you know what? That would be a great thing if they had Elden Ring and all this stuff. Things everybody really immersed in it. Great, super 90 minutes, 2 hours play a game, but whatever. You get to the end and you have to. The big bad is Foghorn Leghorn, and it's just so freaking annoying the whole time. I say you missed me. I say and do all that. People would would get so much.
I say you.
There
missed
actually
me.
is a fight like that in the DLC.
I never imagined
you fight
a
a
worse
new dragon and you summon somebody in, and you die to this dragon over and over and over. But the second you summon the person in, he just screams, "Curse you, Bale!" and goes on this whole monologue.
Why were you fighting Kristen Bell? Also,
Yeah, man.
Tox, I never thought I never imagined there would have been a worse ending to Mass Effect 3, but you did it.
See, I can
Culture,
take things
you're
to the
muted,
next
by the
level
way.
of bad.
Oh, good for you.
There we go. Because I saw
There
you
it
talking
is.
and everything. Joseph gifted 1 membership. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Joseph, way to go.
All right, and excuse me, Save to the Raptor for $5. New TV show idea: Mexican Iron Man and the Land of the Lost. Join Mexican Iron Man. And Gracie Bond. Crap! It jumped on me. As they try and survive, Culture Talks, Comics, Brahma, Tom, Sir Talks a Lot, 32, all in it.
We're all in there as Sleestacks.
I was gonna say,
only
are we
except-
Sleestacks? Yeah,
Yeah, only except
I was gonna say add Grace Randolph into that.
we'll
then
be
you got a
wet
show.
stacks.
Well,
And we're trying to cross the border.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Eric K
What?
for $5. Jacob, who is your favorite Robin Hood, and why is it Errol Flynn? Yeah. Is it the only right choice after all?
I was gonna say, do you guys remember that terrible Robin Hood movie that came out a few years ago? It was like Jamie Foxx and the dude who played.
wait, are you talking about
Taron
Guy Ritchie's
Egerton.
masterpiece?
That wasn't Guy Ritchie, was it? I don't think
wait,
it was.
Was that
Guy
Taron
Ritchie
Egerton?
did do a movie though, a Robin Hood movie.
Didn't he? Or did he do the King Arthur one? I can't remember. I get them mixed up. They were
No,
both
Guy
good.
Ritchie did
Egerton.
King Arthur.
Okay,
It was
yeah.
Egerton.
Okay.
Yes, the guy that was in Kingsman.
Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
Costner's top 3, right?
Yeah, that Robin Hood movie was basically like Antifa Batman. It was a movie that existed. Let's put it that way.
What?
I don't know.
Bat Dad.
I'm kind of torn between Robin Hood Men in Tights and
Yes.
Kevin Costner's Robin Hood.
Well, just because he did an English accent when he's playing an English character, ooh, big whoop.
Well, I love that line in the movie. Unlike some Robin Hoods, I have an English accent.
Yes.
He tried sometimes.
I still think Errol Flynn's best.
All right.
I need to
Well, I
watch-
mean, any
rewatch
movie that
that.
has
I like the
Dave
Fox.
Chappelle in it is funny.
A young Dave Chappelle.
I like
Dude,
I like
young Dave Chappelle and Con Air.
my favorite Robin
Yeah.
Hood was the Fox. Honestly, it was.
That's a good pick, actually.
The Disney one?
Yeah.
The Disney one, yeah. I had the whole they used to have the picture books with the tape that you could play, cassette tape, do all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that stuff.
Damn, you're old.
Robin Hood and Little John hopping through the forest. Oodalolly, oodalolly.
How the song goes?
Back before, Disney became massive amounts of trash. Yeah, so...
That's when they had to draw in their penises. 45th cell.
Like, are you kidding me?
Now they're just everywhere.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, honestly, there were only 2 penises on the cover for The Little Mermaid.
In the
There.
towers, yeah.
Yeah.
Only
That's
2.
good.
So
I'm
it's
glad
like
to know that they
that was
cut
going to
back
be
a little
Noah's
bit.
Ark. Only 2. Only 2.
They were veiny.
Yeah, there was
They
a
were very
War
veiny
reference.
peens.
there was a male penis and a feminine penis on the ark. Yeah.
That's right.
That's how
right.
civilization survived.
So did the majority of the panel actually see the movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I did. I saw it. I
Corey?
actually saw it.
I have the popcorn bucket as well as the cup.
I was honestly
right above
waiting
me.
to see what you guys had to say about it.
I'm more than happy to be the Hurricane Irma of
There
tonight's
we
show.
fucking
and just
go.
rain on everyone's parade, but I'll let you guys go off first because some of you guys seem like you really enjoyed this movie. So
All right.
Okay, before we get into it, okay, I have some questions. Better or worse than 2?
Better.
Better than 2,
I
worse
think
than
it's
1.
going to depend on
Well,
your
you don't get better
perspective.
than the first. I'm sorry.
Here's
There's
why-
very rare
here's why-
sequels are better.
Here's why I say it's
Feels
going to
like
depend
the
on
first
perspective. As a comic fan,
Nick, lean into your mic more because you're kind of not that loud.
EV Mux again. As a comic fan, you're going to really enjoy this movie and eat it up. But if you're a casual normie, I'd probably have to make the argument that normies are understand 1 and 2 more, whereas this third movie, there's a lot more Fox Marvel involved. So now if you notice that stuff, you're in benefit. It's hard to say where normies are going to be because my buddy Mark D with a C saw it and he really enjoyed it. And he brought a buddy with him who's a normie, and his friend, he said his friend thought it was fine, but he said the problem is he didn't understand a lot of it.
Well, if you're a fan of coherent plots, it doesn't really work.
Oh wow, we're starting already.
I mean,
One,
you
let me speak to the
you
normie
essentially-
thing real quick. because
Go ahead.
I went with a girlfriend and she has the worst memory when it comes to remembering movies. And she was in tears at the end, just watching the little 20th Century Fox bye thing at the end. I mean, she was in tears, cried multiple times. She doesn't know any of this shit. She didn't watch Loki. I'm just saying.
Well,
I think
Loki?
normies will dig it.
This is a
Yeah.
movie that definitely requires you to understand a vast amount of movies and references and rumors of movies that never actually came to be. Over the
Yeah,
last
that was a
25
big
years.
one. I was like,
My
Yeah,
wife
listen,
saw it, and she hasn't watched hardly anything except for Deadpool.
okay, we're gonna try and stay spoiler free for at least 15 minutes, guys.
I
that
feel
way,
so
the audience,
vindicated, though.
Yeah,
We'll
but
announce
yeah,
when we go
yeah,
spoilers.
there's a lot of like, I would say, okay, as far as movies are concerned, I think there's only two that you need to really watch. I don't want to say two, but obviously the first two Deadpools helpful to understanding, and Logan. So as far as like everything else, like with the Disney shows, it's fine. They explain the TVA, and it's like it
Very
is
quickly.
blink if and you'll miss it. But yeah, it was there. So the Loki stuff was not required watching, thank God, because that show is awful. But Matt, we'll start with you. Go ahead and give your spoiler-free impressions of the movie.
So, like I said on Twitter, I'm trying to stay away from looking at it any deeper than surface level because I enjoy the nostalgia high. Hit me from the beginning. You know, whatever with the music choices. There was one song I was like, why? Everybody uses this song. Outside of that, I it all worked for me because it felt like it was suited for my age specifically. You know, with just a lot of the choices in it. Wolverine, Hugh did way too good of a job for this. He should have saved it for something that could matter. But I enjoyed the hell out of it but I mean, that's only going to last for another 15 until Jacob and fucking Brahma tear it apart and make me realize.
I've seen it 3 times already. I liked it. I'm just saying the plot has issues.
It does.
Did you just say when Jacob starts fucking Brahma?
Wow.
Well, yeah, that would kind of kill my high. Well,
Okay,
yes.
I got it.
Like,
I'm just
why
saying
not
because
me?
I mean,
why
if anyone
not
on the
it?
panel, Jacob would probably be the one I would least pick to do that.
Really? Why is that?
Right.
I just don't think it's in him.
Because he's a movie reviewer.
Over here.
This
Yeah,
right
that
here.
right there. Yeah, I think it's that kind of cross thing going there. Yeah, that ain't there.
For those of us who've met Jacob, you don't want to fight Jacob.
He's a
Wait,
big
are we talking
man.
about fighting or
He will
fucking?
kill a man.
In your
No.
case, it would be the same thing because you would
Let's
try to
thought we
fuck
were
him and he
reviewing
would
the movie,
fight.
guys. How's that?
We're trying to kill that.
Oh,
15
I like the
minutes that
center
you
of
guys
discussion
mentioned.
being about me for a few minutes. So
Just because he's a movie reviewer, you think he's gonna have a big one?
Yeah.
That's freezing.
I think he'd
what,
probably
opinion?
put you in a headlock, and then he would like suplex you. He
I'm
would
listening.
go full wrestling on you, dude.
He will
I
take
don't know if
you
I
to Flex
suplex
City,
him.
bitch.
I probably hold him down against his will, give him a
Yeah.
wet willy.
Full mount or side control? Ooh.
Oh, Wet Willie, you are evil, evil man.
There's something very wrong.
You gotta
with
get
man.
like a lot of drool on it too, and just
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be
Oh, yeah.
dripping off. Yeah.
There's nothing more emasculating than being held down with somebody's like wet finger in your ear. You just can't do anything about it.
yeah, it's
Culture calls that foreplay.
Actually, I kind of need my ears cleaned out right now.
wow. That's
This is getting
Captain
you ever
Spider
seen-
says you'd steal his lunch money.
There you go.
Have you ever seen the enema for ears? Is the grossest thing you ever see because it's clear. Oh my
the
god!
fuck are you talking about?
This is a real
How
thing.
did we get here? We're supposed to
It's
be
a real
reviewing
thing.
a movie, guys.
All right,
It just
Mad
goes to
Bargain.
tell you how great the movie is, and no one's
Continue
even wants
your
to talk
thoughts.
about it.
Continue
Yeah.
your thoughts, Matt.
All right, Culture. What's your kind of like initial thoughts on the movie?
I thought this is a near return to form for Marvel. I thought that it was very self-aware. I thought there were moments of levity. I thought there was lots of excessive violence and gore. It was a great film. I think it's
That was
Did you
very
get paid for
robotic.
that?
Yeah.
probably no. But what I will say is, I enjoyed this film more than I expected. It's the greatest thing going in as a reviewer and having your expectations dashed because mine were low.
Well, your
And-
expectations over the past few months have been you were going to hate it.
Yes, and yet I did not. I thought this, and if you watch my review tomorrow, you'll hear the same thing I'm about to say now. A self-aware movie that for the right age group is not only entertaining, it is devoid of wokeism.
Yes.
There were many moments where it basically threw fire at the woke stuff, and I was
actually
like,
attacked it.
Yeah, and I was like, that's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, they made fun of male feminists.
Oh, they did. And they let the girl bad guy be the girl bad guy. And guess
she was
what? In
actually
the
a decent
end,
villain.
yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. But anyway, I will say that it was good, and I don't care what Jacob has to say. He's wrong, and I don't say that very often.
I haven't even said it yet. You don't know.
I already
about
know
the
what's
theory of this
coming.
movie.
I already know what's
You
coming.
already know what's coming?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob's going to
Can you read this chant here from Deeple?
Oh, sure. Deeple says, play the gay bumper, Toxic.
Okay.
Wait.
Rainbow thing.
I was tricked.
Oh, it's doing it again. Oh, no.
I was tricked.
You were tricked? Yes.
Indeed.
Can Jacob go last so we can
Yeah,
just
please. Yeah.
I know we've got a few minutes left.
It's not a racial thing, Jacob.
Everyone is just waiting for me to drop this Macho Man elbow from the top rope.
We know.
Because once I see it, I can't unsee it.
Yeah, the problem is
You must enjoy the moment. All right, real quick. Let me get some of these Roman rants real quick. Ghost Rider says, well, it's that kind of show tonight. So
it is.
Yep, that was for $5 on the Green Machine. Thank you very much.
Green
Machine.
Did that one not get starred?
Which one?
There's one from Deeple.
Oh no. The
didn't
beautiful
get started.
deep. Oh, the beautiful deep.
Oh, that one? Oh,
Yeah.
let me get that for you.
Okay.
See, only Corey gets
See,
me.
that's because you're forgetting the Rumble chats. That's
No,
exactly
it's okay. It's right here.
It's because
All right.
the producer's not paying
Sucks.
attention. Maybe.
Okay, Deeple over on the Green Machine says, I heard Tox ask for a $5 to shut the fuck up, Tox pass. Let's not have a fucking whatever rant we had last night on yelling apart cars. Busy this week, so can't see DP or Deadpool Wolverine. I hope it's good movie. Hail chat.
Most adult humans over the age of 18 will enjoy said film. In my opinion.
So what you're telling me is this is actually going to be a decent watch for me.
Yes.
It's going to be $1 billion movie.
Unless you're going to listen to Jacob.
Yeah, don't listen to Jacob. Jacob's a liar.
Okay.
Well, you guys
Don't
seem to
say that.
Jacob's just a guy who's gonna have different opinions than us.
Well, you
I
guys
like
seem
to
to
call it
understand my
correct
humor.
opinion.
I have a very dark sense of humor.
Here's the funny thing. I have
Yeah,
to
you
go on.
do.
I have to go on Jacob's show tomorrow night and talk about this movie again. And his panel is going to shred me like lettuce. It's going to be like, "Hey, you're in a Mexican restaurant. We're going to put
Especially
you on a
since
taco."
Sarah's showing up this time. That's a shocker for me.
Who
so, yeah,
is?
you're definitely going to get it.
Who
Sarah's coming back. She
Oh,
only makes a
no.
quarterly appearance on my channel, and she's coming back specifically for this movie.
Did you just culturally appropriate Mexican food? Culture Casino.
Yeah, I was eating dinner just a moment ago, so I was.
Ooh.
You were eating a Mexican?
No.
Down in the
So-
West
so let me
Texas
get this
town of El
straight.
Paso,
Lettuce seems
culture
like a
is eating
weird-
a Mexican
It's gonna
girl.
be 2 hours before we get to the full panels.
I'm pretty sure that Tox just established a new, hey, guess what's racist? And apparently it's eating.
Apparently.
So,
And
we all know the game. Google is eating racist and see what comes up.
I've never heard this before.
Actually,
Oh, you never heard that game? Yeah, just Google what is something racist, and odds are there's an article about it.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, the AI chat's probably going to be talking about the fact that we're talking about lettuce.
Oh my God.
Racist.
Wow.
Oh my God. How toxic diet culture is rooted in racism and white supremacy.
Yeah, I saw that
There
one
you
too.
go. That's the first
There
article I
it
got
is.
as well. Yeah.
Racism in the food system.
Down in the old Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a
Eating while
Mexican
black
girl.
explores how food shaming in race. Oh, I'm gonna get the full title.
Oh, boo!
That's from Teen Vogue.
Yeah. Well, that is no surprise there. Culture, was there anything else you want to add
Yeah,
to
of course.
the?
There's a lot I want to add.
Food
and I'm
shaming
gonna
and
try to
race
do
are
without
related.
Spoilers. I just want to say that the film is delightfully self-aware, as I said before, but at the same time, I believe this is the best Wolverine I've ever seen. The performance, it's the one that I love the most out of all of the Wolverines, other than maybe X2.
Whoa,
Other than
you
maybe
think it's better than X3?
Everybody calm down.
Really?
Oh boy.
Better than X. It's online or on par with X2. But I think that this version of Logan makes you feel for the character in a way you never have before.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
If you didn't
so much
see
for the
Logan.
reviews, guys. We're done with reviews for the night.
Oh no, we're going back to the reviews, but from this PETA article, are meat eaters more likely to be racist?
I created
Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, look, I eat steak and I have questionable views about Indian people, so maybe it's on to something here.
Hold on. Are you talking red? Are you talking red dot?
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about the 7-Eleven brown people, not the 9/11 brown people.
That's even better. That's even better. Great.
But Jacob, you missed one vital thing. Okay, you missed one vital thing, and that's according to modern logic, you're not you can't be racist.
Well, hold on. He votes Republican.
Oh, then he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I'm basically the black face of white supremacy.
I was gonna make a joke about that. But yeah,
you said that, and this came out of comics.
I came back. I should have. I needed to go to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom while you guys be all racist and stuff. I'll be back.
Oh, we made him so upset that he has to poop. Wow.
Or go scream the N-word in another room.
I can hear the monetization button exploding like Sonic after he lost his rings.
All right, Brahma, what's your initial thoughts and reactions for this movie?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was also a very good portrayal of Wolverine, and I thought the humor was good. But my worry that I expressed a few months ago may get this movie, and that a lot of it is a lot of the humor is about this time right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it will be a timeless movie that gets looked at in 10, 15 years as anything other than, well, that's what was going on in Marvel right then. It will not save Marvel. I think it will hit $1 billion at this point. But
I can agree
the
with
action
that.
scenes, the violence, and the gore, fantastic.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Exactly what you want to see from Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's multiple fights. So
yeah.
I
there's
enjoyed
multiple
all of
fights
that.
with Deadpool and Wolverine fighting each other, which was I thought was done really fucking well.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Most of the best fights in the movie, I think, were them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But outside of going into the spoilers, yeah, I think it's one that everybody should probably go see because it is exactly kind of what we've been asking for out of these two characters.
Mm-hmm.
But the plot is weak.
Yeah.
What?
Nick? Yeah, anything you want to add?
I really enjoyed the movie, and so as I mentioned earlier, if you're more of a normie, I'm curious to see what are more normie perspectives on this movie, because as a fan of comics and knowing lore, I actually, not only do I enjoy this movie more than Deadpool 1, I don't like Deadpool 2. I'm hit or miss with the Foxman movies. Some I love, some I detest. I'm a really boiling red hot temperature take. I can't stand Logan to save my own life. I can't stand that movie. So if this
I'm
is
not a fan of the
Hugh
movie.
Jackman, if this is Hugh Jackman's swan song, I actually feel like, oh, finally a proper farewell. If this is the end, unlike Logan, which, man, I said I couldn't wait to never watch that again. And luckily that never happened again. Yeah, I'm gonna set out the bombs.
I wasn't expecting that.
I agree with you, Nick. I think Logan is a massively overrated movie.
I agree with that. The third act
there's a better
is weak.
version of the story called Old Man Logan, written by Mark Miller. Way better. Not even
I'm not gonna
close.
read though.
Well, that's your loss.
Yeah, and that's what it was largely based off of, and that comic was really fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good. But bring it back to the movie. I actually really enjoyed the story. I actually thought Deadpool and Wolverine both had great individual personal arcs. It wasn't just a multiverse story. They both had things that they needed to achieve on a personal level individually, and I thought that was great. And for me, that was better than the multiversal stuff. It made the story feel smaller, more personal, and it had a lot more heart. So for me, that was great. The action was really good. I actually was shocked that how there's a lot more meat to the bone with the appearances. It wasn't just hey, look at this appearance. There was actual like substance to some of them. So I was like, okay, cool. Now there's one cameo I was not really fond of towards the end. The initial thing I was like, okay, cool, but like I said, I'm saving for spoilers. But towards the end, I was not really fond of it. I was just like, ugh. In a Deadpool context, I could see why they went with it. But as someone who's a fan of this particular character, I was not a fan of that. I actually thought the villain was good. I actually was shocked, and she was a full-on villain who actually was. I was like, okay, cool. She's an effective villain, cool. It feels like this movie was very respectful to source material. There's a lot of nods and homages to classic covers. Like I was gonna name drop some issues, but I'll say it for spoilers. But there's a lot of classic homages, a lot of great references to the actual source material, which is something that's been missing since.
What did you think about the cameos? There was one that I thought was the most.
We can't talk about it yet.
Calm down. There was one
think I
that I
said it
thought.
very calm.
Calm down. There was
This is
one.
as calm as my voice
Hey,
goes.
Matt, can you like silence Theo for a second so Culture can speak?
Culture. I'm listening,
Can
Culture.
we let
There was-
Culture speak?
There was one particular.
Please let Culture speak. I mean, please.
There was one particular cameo that I think brought the room down.
Yeah, that cameo. I think I know what
Yes.
you're talking about. Go put in the private
And
chat.
it was something in 1,000,000 years you never thought would have happened.
Didn't see it coming, and that was probably the loudest the theater went for it.
Yes.
It was really cool to see.
Yeah.
And I would say what was better than just the appearance was a lot of the delivery lines that that character had. I think the delivery.
Why don't we
was
just
what
save
made
it for spoilers?
No, we
Yeah,
won't.
because I don't even know who
We're
it
not
is.
saying
spoiler.
it. We haven't given away
It's a
anything.
spoiler.
I know.
I
but
just said the delivery,
No.
and I didn't say a name. I didn't say.
And the combat, you were like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you
Okay, Jacob, you're next. I'll save myself for last.
Okay. First of all, I think you all are just a bunch of marks. I mean,
That's right. Yeah. Here the thief of joy has arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
And I
yeah.
denied it.
First of all, Logan's Superior film did this. I'm sorry that they didn't have enough Ti.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go and vomit. I'll be right back, Jacob.
You did it. My honest films about this movie is that if you are someone who has been watching a sea of mediocrity, which is the MCU over the last 5 years, and you just want to feel something again, then yeah, you're probably going to enjoy this film a lot more than others are actually going to enjoy this film. However, as someone who has seen a lot of MCU films up to this point, especially kind of the last few before Endgame, this movie does a good job at kind of recycling those old tricks to get the audience the pop in the movie theater. This is exactly why Martin Scorsese at one point called it a glorified theme park ride.
Right.
This film is basically full of references. It's full of, like I said, member berries, callbacks to other movies. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's not really the plot or anything that's happening in the film that's making you go like, oh my God, this is great. It's, oh my God, is that person from that movie? And oh my God, is that person from that movie? And oh my God, it's person who's doing his role from the other film. It's like, it's basically just pulling out like references to other movies that you've already seen. If you haven't seen those movies, you're probably not going to understand those references, which is probably why some of the normie fans are kind of like, it was okay, I guess. I didn't really understand what was going on, but obviously if you've seen the movies, you had a different reaction to it. I'm kind of pretty much in the middle. Like I wouldn't give like a final grade just yet, but I'm basically just perfectly in the middle for this film. I can see how if you've been invested into Marvel movies for the last 25 years, you're probably going to like this film more than others. Outside of that, like I said, this is a film that's certainly better than the second one, which wasn't very good. But like I said, I wouldn't put it over the first Deadpool movie, and I certainly wouldn't put it over some of the other 20th Century Fox films that you guys have been dogging out here over the first 30 minutes of the show. So,
hey man, I like The Last Stand.
I'll bet my personal favorite Fox My movie. No one else on the panel has my personal favorite. No one else has.
Okay, what's your personal favorite?
First class.
I can see why you would say that.
I was gonna go with the roll cut, but I mean, yeah, you want to be weird.
All right.
It's fine. It's better than Logan. It's fine. It's better than Logan.
You know it's Superman v Batman. You know it.
So what was your issues with Logan? Was it not happy enough for you guys? It ended on too much of a somber
No,
note?
I thought it was more of a deconstruction of Wolverine more so than anything else, which is part of the reason why I didn't like it.
If I had that,
in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like it has a lot more subtly, mind you, but a lot of the current year movie tropes that we've been seeing that we don't like in the movie. Girl, that's the key to everything. Yeah, I just I remember everyone like saying that, hey, this movie's great, and I watched it. I was like, dude, I don't know, man. It's like, and you understand, I watched it like several years later.
Oh, see, yeah. After you've already seen that trope of the deconstructionism already being played out. Because I mean, I think when it's done well, it is really good, and I think it really worked with Logan.
Hey there, Sparky.
I'm already done talking.
What did Mangold follow that up with?
It doesn't have any effect on what Logan was.
You want to bet it was exactly the same set of tropes.
But that doesn't affect Logan.
That doesn't make Logan the problem.
Well, Logan was not a good film.
Movie are we talking about?
And then he followed up with Indiana Jones and the terrible diaper of dysentery.
If I
really, is that his follow-up movie? He's had to have done something else besides that.
The man baby? No, I don't think so.
No, I can't dog him out because he did my favorite movie of 2019, which was Ford versus Ferrari. If you guys remember that film,
and that would have been between the two
other movies. Yeah,
I'm talking about the fact that he took a legendary character and fisted him just like he fisted a legendary character in Logan. It's hey, I'm going to take a character that you love, I'm going to fist him. Oh, and then I'm going to take another character that you love, and I'm going to fist him.
It's pretty aggressive.
He is. He's very aggressive.
That's very aggressive. Okay.
I think that has more to do with Lucasfilm just being a complete dumpster fire of a film studio at this point.
Okay, well, he took a X-Men Marvel character and fisted him. Then he went over to Disney and did the same thing.
Jesus, culture.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't see it any other way. Logan was weak sauce, girl key to everything, all that other stuff, right, that you just said, except at the same time, I didn't necessarily break it down the same way, but I couldn't understand why the movie sucked. And it's like, okay, first of all, Logan's never going to die.
The adamantium poisons his body.
No, they invented that bullshit thing. That was not true.
I want to say that was actually...
It's current year culture.
It was used in the comic series a long time ago.
What year?
What? I want to say it was kind of in Days of Future Past, but I don't remember. It's one of those things.
Anything post 2014's bullshit. Actually,
this is before 2014.
Way before.
Yeah. Anyway,
the thing I liked about Logan was
did they
outside
bring
of this movie, it's the only movie that actually had Wolverine doing actual violence.
Oh no, indeed. Now, but let's move past that. I'm going to ask Nick a question. That may have existed prior to 2012, but did they bring Logan back?
No, because he died.
What character did they not bring back?
Thank you very much.
During the days when X-Men comics were still on a high in terms of people liking him and being invested in him. If there's one thing the X-Men comics, even big fans will concede.
Thank you.
Time travel and bringing back characters too often.
There's another thing too. They killed Logan off in the comic books during that time period as well.
Yeah,
and they replaced him with X-23. Yeah. So and then I kind of felt like there was hints of that in that movie as well.
And then what did they do? They brought him the fuck back. Oh, Corey, I'd like to hear you say words instead of having to send them in chat.
Well, as I said in the chat, the main problem I had with Logan was the same problem I have with most modern movies, and it was boring. It was not worth the amount of time that I had to sit there and watch that movie.
Oh, hey,
and that's my primary grievance with any
let me ask you. I have a question, Corey. I got a follow up. Let me a follow up. What did you think of Indiana Jones and the diaper of discarded waste by a former or current president?
I didn't even waste my time on that. I saw the Crystal Skull and I was like, okay.
There's only 3 Indiana Jones movies. I have no idea what you guys are even talking about.
Yeah.
All right, panel. Subhuman 84's here. We don't have to panic anymore.
That's true. Okay. Overall, I thought it was a pretty mid movie. There's a lot of things I did like about it. It was a lot of fun. But I also there's a lot of problems I have. No,
I agree with you.
With not with Logan. I'm talking about with
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
You could not.
You know, the movie we're reviewing tonight.
Yeah, the movie we're reviewing tonight.
Oh wow, because it didn't sound
comics has to
consistent with
say.
anybody else's review except for Jacob's.
Why your dad's fighting?
I didn't hate the movie though, or anything like that. It's the let me put it this way. Okay, comparatively, and this is kind of piggybacking on Jacob's comment a bit.
See, like I said,
Hang on, dude. Let me finish.
Let's like comics
Comparatively,
talk. I wanna hear what you
comparatively
say.
to what we've
Culture,
seen,
you want to rumble, bro?
I'm an angry Trump right now.
what we've seen coming out of Phase 4 and so far with Phase 5, it is far superior than anything that we've gotten over the last how many years? 4 at this point. When did Endgame come out? 2019.
2019,
Like
5 years ago.
Okay, 5 years.
ago.
Best MCU movie in 5 years, with the exception of, I would have to say,
The Marvels.
No Way
right.
Home
You
and
love-
probably Guardians.
That's
Those
not
are
a Marvel movie. Those are Sony.
I understand, but
Guardians was MCU.
Guardians was an MCU movie.
Oh,
and yes, though.
Wait,
Hang on,
Guardians
Culture. Let me
3?
finish my point. Guardians 3, out of all the stuff that has come out in the last 5 years, is better than anything else that's been out there. Right? Am I right, Culture? That movie still has problems. I'm pointing that out. Still has problems, but comparatively, like Eternals, the Marvels, fucking hands down, Guardians 3 is far superior. Same thing with this movie. However, it has a lot of issues. First off, there's a lot they could have cut out of this movie. There is a. I do think that they relied too heavily on nostalgia bait quite a bit. The plot, a little weak. Characterizations, though, Wolverine. This is the best Wolverine we've ever seen on screen.
Yes,
hands down, best Wolverine. Hugh Jackman fucking kills it. Okay.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, literally.
That's the Wolverine you were talking about, because I thought the best one was not that one.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best Wolverine we've seen on screen.
I still think the best like outright slaying Wolverine is right at the beginning of the film, during the opening credits.
Oh God, that was fucking hilarious. We'll get to that. It's like, again, Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. Fucking fantastic. For me, there was quite a few jokes that I felt they beat into the fucking ground. One of which was they kept referring to the fact that, oh my God, Wolverine's wearing his costume. They did that like, I want to say like 10 fucking times, and that got old real fucking fast. I get making the jokes a couple of times at the beginning of the movie when we first see it. That's fine, but they kept making the fucking jokes over and over again. And
Because they know people are marking out for the costume. That's what they keep referring to.
It undercut the payoff to the costume.
All of you are wrong. It's okay.
Culture.
They did make jokes about the costume. At the same time, they didn't reveal the reason the costume was important till the end. And that
that's fine though. That's not a joke. That is actual character development.
No, that's the payoff though. The payoff doesn't
Yes.
always have to be in the humor. It has to be.
I'm not saying it has to be in the humor. I'm just saying that the jokes with the suit got old.
And
That,
like I
however,
said-
I'm not complaining about Culture
I'm
when
sorry,
they
man.
actually give the reason, because it's fucking heartfelt.
Like I said, the joke was they did it so much it undercut the payoff, in my opinion.
I
loved
agree.
the payoff, but I felt like it was
Wow.
kind of damaged by how much it was referenced.
I'm
As
in-
hey, don't forget this. This is very important.
I am in the multiverse. I've got comics and Matt agreeing. I don't know what happened. I must have died.
Before
That's how
we
bad
get
your takes
too
are
deep
being.
into spoilers, do we want to go back and finish discussion on the last episode of The Acolyte?
Yes, let's do that.
Oh God, why?
Hell,
heard that was
screw it.
Pelagus.
Let's just review Echo right here, right now. Let's
Echo, what a great.
Bring up Echo.
All right, well,
Okay,
hang on.
we got 5 minutes left.
Stop.
Jacob needs about one of those to finish his Echo review. So
Okay, here we go.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do as a palate cleanser for you out in the audience, we're going to go through and get some super chats and Green Machine rants, and then we'll get into spoilers. For those of you who don't want to be spoiled by this movie, we're going to give you a couple minutes, and then we'll jump into it. We'll give.
I'm sorry, just real quick. For those of you guys who don't want spoilers for this movie, I don't know why you guys decided to listen to a review of the movie literally the night it came out, as if somehow we weren't going to talk about what actually happened in the film. So,
well, because we typically do it without spoilers first to let people know whether we like the movie, whether it's worth going to see, and then they decide whether they want to be spoiled.
Hey, where's Jason? Because Jason usually shows up for these.
Yeah, where is Jason?
I don't know. All right, Batek Bojin for $5. The Wolverine variant was worth the price of admission. Did you guys see who played Lady Deadpool and Cowboy Deadpool? Pretty sweet for not showing faces.
It was amazing.
I heard it was it Blake Lively who played Lady Deadpool?
Yeah. And McConaughey for Cowboy.
Yeah. What?
That
Really?
really?
I didn't know that.
Really?
McConaughey.
Oh, I did not know that.
I thought I heard him say, all right, all right.
All right.
Which is not a spoiler.
Oh, by the way,
well, it was for me.
And that one scene,
he's never shown.
I'm just going to say that bus got wrecked.
Lady Gaga.
Did you see who was
Lady Gaga?
Did you see where the Stan Lee cameo was?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's spoilers.
In that image.
Correct.
Yeah.
What, did they have a fight over his grave?
I missed that. No, I didn't. No, they didn't. All right, Eric K for $5 up to Culture Casino. Less than 400 to the Mankini stream.
Yeah, baby.
No, that's not happening.
25K Mankini, and then 50K you're doing the full body wax. You got that.
No, 50K. 50K. I'm going to wear one of those pajama things like Drunk did. What do you call that? The mono pajama thing. He was like the Keebler bear.
You're going to be the body wax bear while he was the Canadian. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Rolling the register for $10. At the end of 127 weeks, Brahma and Nick drink all of the of Culture's box wine.
That's right.
My chats always play to the panel. Gay, gay, gay. $5. Get Talks to shut the fuck up. He should be mute from my chats. Can't wait for the shirt.
I'm muted from his chats.
I think that's great.
I'll drink some Boone Farm.
There should be a T-shirt that says $5
Boone's
and
Farm.
Toxel shut up.
$5 Chuck.
All right. E. Clay Thomason for $5. Better than tomorrow's teachings. I don't.
No, it's not. No. Oh, I can't wait till tomorrow's episode. They're premiering their new video tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Tox. Mad does these wonderful bits, because he follows great filmmakers like Neil Breen. And I think we should promote his amazing takes on cinema.
Do you really?
I mean, if you let me speak more, I can promote it myself.
I'm trying to lay back. So you guys, because I haven't seen the film.
All right.
Tox hasn't seen it.
All right. Say the Truth Raptor for $2. Thoughts on Multiverse X-23, but it's Gracie Bond. As long as she has steak knives coming out of her ass.
Oh, man. That's a lot of steak
If
knives.
they would have used Tracy Bond back then, Marvel would have gone out of business faster because they would have run out of ink.
True.
Yep. All right. Jaffa for $1.99 says it's the Rebel Flag Mankini 25K stream.
I don't have one, nor would I do that.
Good old boy.
Dude, go to Amazon. You can get anything there.
No, that's not happening. What I'm going to do, I'm going Hobo Gandalf. I'm going to go full Hobo Gandalf for my 25K stream.
So you're just going to wear a different hat?
Yeah, a new hat, probably with a rooster on it.
You're not going to read my Rumble rant? All right, fine. Yeah.
Well, hang on. I'm getting to it, man. I'm looking for Rumble
I'm going to have
rants.
a robe. You guys, you don't care.
Okay, I see you started. All right, got it. Not gonna lie, I'll see this film with the family Saturday night. So I'm just trying to derail this panel. Wait, did I type that? Crap.
Hey, Tom saw the movie. He's
It's
usually,
Tom.
Yeah, he usually does things. There he is. That's my head.
Tom.
Oh, hey,
Hi.
I just saw you.
Hey,
I brought some friends with me.
My
brought some friends? That's awesome.
Tom, my hetero life
So,
mate.
Tom, did you watch all 8 episodes of The Acolyte so we could finish talking about it tonight? Or
Was that really Plagueis at the end?
No, I love the shirt though.
Tom. Oh, you
There
got
it
it!
is. Oh,
You got
look at
it!
that.
He got it!
That's nice.
Wait, I didn't have that one at mine.
Here we go. Here we
gotta
go.
go to
I
Silverado
purposely
again.
did not get one. I saw it. and
Look
I'm
at
like,
that.
Nah, not
Oh my
interested.
gosh.
I am so jealous right now.
I am too. They didn't even
I
have
bet
that.
you are jealous.
They were sold out. Everything
They
was
didn't
sold
have any
out.
of the Deadpool cups left though, so I ended up getting this. But when I got the
I
baby
got one of those.
Deadpool,
Yeah.
Baby
Oh, that's
Deadpool.
cool.
That is not.
Mine
That is not
has
the.
the Wolvie on top.
I got.
Oh, you
Headpool.
got the head!
Nice.
Almost nobody got that.
I spent
Amazing.
so much money tonight.
Good lord.
I
I'm
got
never
a
going to
completely different
Silverado.
one.
Oh, you got
Well,
one? Okay.
if it
All
makes
right.
you feel
My
better,
hero.
Matt, they didn't have any of that over at the Palladium. Not Palladium, but over at
Oh,
Casablanca.
you
Nick's
got the
showing
Wolverine cup.
I should have got the Wolverine lid probably. but-
Nice.
Now, what I like too is the detail on the texture, and look, you can
So-
see and feel the thickness on it.
Oh, I like the
Wait,
thickness.
You like
Nick
feeling
likes
the thickness.
Yes, he
Yeah.
likes
Yeah.
the thickness.
Somebody beat me to
Nick's
that joke.
Nick is down with the thickness.
Oh, and yeah, he had to make sure
Well-
we saw his booty too, because that's his favorite part.
Hey,
That's
it's
why I
Fro.
like you.
All right,
Well, the
everybody,
popcorn
stop
bucket has
swearing.
the-
Awesome.
Well, the
Stop
popcorn
swearing.
bucket has the built-in blowjob handles, so.
Mine doesn't.
This is the one I got.
Is that
Oh,
from
that one's even
Cinemark?
better.
That's
Oh,
Cinemark.
Wow,
I like that one.
that's cool.
Yeah, this
See?
is Cinemark. I don't know how it opens yet. I just took the tape off, but
That's
came
what she
with
said.
free extra large popcorn, so that worked
Yeah,
out
so did
for
these.
$27.
Oh, dude, you don't even want to know what I spent
$27.
on all
That
these.
wasn't
Uh-oh.
a free.
All right, what did
popcorn.
Mad get?
Yeah, I had to go to the ghetto movie theater because the Palladium was sold out. So I got like just this and then the cup.
Yeah.
The ghetto.
Oh, I like
When-
that one. That's
Yeah.
a nice. I liked that Wolverine.
When I picked up the Wolverine head, my wife was just like, "Can't you just get the metal tin one?" I was like, "No, I've got to get the Wolverine head."
No. All right, we are officially now rolling into spoilers territory, folks.
Might as well get the head
I will
around.
put the spoiler thing out.
Now I can finally take the gloves off.
Okay,
Yep.
so now I feel like it. Hey, Tom, is Pro busy? Maybe we should have Pro in here because he always
I
has
think we have plenty.
Bro
sobering
wants to
takes.
slide in.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Before we get to spoilers, Tom, what is your initial thoughts and reactions, spoiler
Oh,
free,
that's true. That's true. Spoiler free.
on the movie?
I'm of two
Like,
minds.
just like
Oh,
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Ah.
Definitely better than the second film. Not as good as the first film, but I had more fun than I did with the first film. But I think the big issue with this movie is going to be it will have an expiration date.
me too.
I agree.
Because a lot of the jokes will not be as funny or may not make as much sense in 5-10 years from now. And I think that there's a lot of inside baseball in this movie. If you don't know,
that's
the
one of my
Fox-
biggest issues with it.
the Foxmen, if you don't know the corporate politics behind Disney, the sale, and there's certain cameos and other jokes that if you don't know so much inside baseball as far as like I said, the corporate politics behind certain things, and let's just say there's an equivalent to the Nicolas Cage cameo in the Flash movie here, to where I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to be like, why is this person this character?
Yep.
And there's a lot of stuff that I think is just going to go over a lot of people's heads here. And I've heard some mixed reactions from the general audience and even some of the other fans. But this movie was made for us geeks.
Yeah.
It was made for us nerds. That's for sure. I see Pro in the chat. Send him the link if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know how to send the links.
Yeah, if you want some, I mean, you can go ahead.
But it was also made for anybody
I'll
who
take care of
likes.
it. I got it.
Yeah.
It was also made for anybody who likes Deadpool, though, because my
In a
wife
way-
doesn't watch any of the superhero movies. She
Did
likes
she enjoy
Deadpool
it?
because
Was
it's
she able
funny.
to follow it?
Yeah, and she was
my girlfriend
cracking
same
up.
way. Yeah, my girlfriend was in tears by the end. She loved it.
She was also
gets-
cracking up at the nerds to our left and to our right that were literally jumping up out of their seats at different times.
You ready for
So
spoilers?
the experience was part of it too.
Yeah, we're ready. You can put the thing
I
up.
like big spoilers and I cannot lie.
All right. I'm gonna drop one that probably no one's gonna know.
Give everybody just a few seconds.
Okay.
In the chat, anybody
yeah.
that wants to be out, all that stuff.
Well, 5,
4, 3, 2,
Run!
1.
The Acolyte is the greatest Disney of all kinds.
If you were not aware that there was supposed to be a Channing Tatum Gambit movie, you would not have gotten the reference of Channing Tatum being Gambit in this movie.
Okay, and let me tell you right now, they worked really hard. Sorry, man. They worked really hard on his dialect.
Okay, listen. Now I got to jump in. I feel so vindicated. For years, I've been saying Channing Tatum would be so good at being Gambit. When Hateful Eight came out, and he was like, "Oh, sorry," I'm like, "Look, he's trying to show you, motherfuckers, he can do the Cajun accent."
Yep.
I've been saying it for years. I feel so vindicated. It was the best part of the movie. He was the MVP outside of Wolverine. Period.
I thought he looked ridiculous in the costume.
No,
I thought he nailed it.
Okay, the cameo of the universe ever in the greatest moment of like F.U. Disney in the history of man was
Wesley
Blade.
Snipes. Blade.
Yep. Dude, Tom, you and I knew this.
I did not know that Wesley Snipes was in the movie. Somebody asked me. Actually, I have it started. Let me pull it up real quick.
To put this into perspective for you guys that don't understand exactly what happened here, the MCU Blade movie was announced 5 years ago, and here we are in 2024, and they have brought back Wesley Snipes to play Blade before Mahershala Ali has shot a single scene as Blade for this MCU.
Did you like the comment that I'm the only Blade?
There's only one Blade, and there's only ever going to be one.
Yeah,
but you know what was
his
great about that
is
joke?
even better, and they're always that, and that's the only one there'll ever be. I was just like, oh, that was good.
But no, here's what I think from that joke. The play was supposed to be that, oh yeah, by the way, we do have a Blade movie in development, so you won't be the only Blade. However, I don't think that they expected that the Blade situation be such a disaster by the time that this film actually came out, that the joke went the completely other way with that one.
And here's the thing, like I'm friends with this guy I was working with for years as kind of a ghost script writer with. And I've told this before and I think Culture was there when this happened. But like 2 or 3 days or a day or so, whatever it was, before they announced Mahershala Ali, my friend who would have been on the writing team had Wesley Snipes signed on, was feeding me info in the background, and they were fighting because Wesley couldn't get behind the idea that they wanted him in a Whistler role. He wanted to play Blade. And I don't know if they meant they wanted him to literally play Whistler or they wanted him to play Blade and hand the torch off. I don't know which one was what it was.
Yeah.
But what happened was they ended up pulling a Mark Ruffalo on him, basically. Because Wesley walked. And that's what my guy told me. He's like, Wesley walked. And then it was like a day or two later when they announced at Comic-Con that Mahershala Ali was playing Blade in a new reboot. So at that moment, that really pissed Wesley Snipes off. That basically cut all communication off. So I was surprised when he showed up, and I almost wonder if when Ryan Reynolds said that at first, that was kind of part of that, because then they get into the other part later where they never liked each other anyway. That was the other joke I thought was hilarious.
Go ahead, Blade, I love Blade. I had the soundtrack to Blade Trinity. I felt like he was just going through the motions on this for the paycheck. I don't think that he was doing it because he loves Blade the character. I don't. He didn't sell
1,000,000,000%. Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this comment in chat, bad take, Bojan, damn girl from Ekley Thompson, and
What's
I did try to do it. So, this. Bad take, Bojan. I practically orgasmed seeing Blade and then finished with Gambit.
So did I. But by the end, it just felt like Wesley Snipes wasn't 100%. Into the role.
I don't know. I disagree with
doing.
that because I'll say this. This is the other thing I liked about this movie. This movie was basically what Multiverse of Madness should have been. Yeah. Multiverse of Madness should have been this, only darker. And this is basically, because that's what I love is all these cameos that showed up. They actually get to play a role in the plot. They don't just show up and go hi and die.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Multiverse of Madness,
some of them
there was a lot of creative dissension in that film.
Sorry, Jacob, what was that?
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say Multiverse of Madness, as we all know, there was a lot of creative dissension of that film because they wanted to do like an MCU horror film, and that's why Scott Dickerson and C. Robert Cargill actually left that project, and that's why Raimi had to come in and basically patch it up after
and Raimi was like, "You want me to make a horror film, but not a horror film?" Yeah, I can't imagine that. I really
so back
can't.
to this movie, Jennifer Gardner felt like the ninth choice. Like they asked 8 other people and ended up on her.
They asked her early
I mean,
on.
I feel
They
like it
asked
was
her
perfect.
way
No,
early on.
Gardner in this movie
hyperbolic.
looked like the female version of like the sad Ben Affleck meme.
Oh, there's
Yep.
something
The
very
entire
wrong with you.
time.
You know
Did
what?
you guys catch
Jacob.
the Ben joke?
Yes.
Yeah, there was,
Yes.
not only was there a-
Daredevil died.
Hang on, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, let's start off. Mad. Obviously, spoilers. What did you really like about the movie?
loved
What
the
did
whole
you
movie
not
eroticism.
like about the movie?
So I enjoyed everything dealing with Wolverine specifically. I thought he did way too much in it. I felt like the villain was good until she went from bad to good and then back to bad. I felt like it undercut the whole arc of Wolverine at that point. The third act as a whole was a little weaker. I way too many Deadpools in it. But some of the music choices was weird. I think the AC/DC song, they could have used anything other than the same song that's been in 80 other movies. You know, it felt like it's a lazy choice for that scene.
Was
Bye
it
bye bye. The
Thunderstruck?
beginning was Wait, no, was it Thunderstruck? It was whatever when they first fought.
It was Hell's Bells.
Hell's Bells.
It was
that was it,
Hell's Bells.
Yeah. I felt like there was more choices. they could have
Thunderstruck
made
gets
then.
used more often.
Yeah.
True.
A lot more often.
True. But
I don't remember Hell's Bells ever being used in a movie. I actually thought that was a great choice.
Maximum
that fight.
Overdrive.
I'm actually glad.
Well,
they
that's
used
like the
Hell's
80s,
Bells.
dude.
I was
40 something
concerned.
years ago, Tom.
I was concerned they were going to use "For Whom the Bell Tolls" from Metallica, which I like, but it's so overdone that I was just like, okay, Hell's Bells, I'll take that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Kremlin, we'll get to it. He
didn't mind the
says too many
soundtrack so
Deadpools.
much.
It's a Deadpool movie.
I
Yeah,
loved
but-
all the Deadpools.
Oh, I
Did you guys
I
catch who
didn't.
was doing all the voices?
Yes.
Yep, we already went over it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
yeah.
I thought you said you didn't go through spoilers. That's pretty.
Those
spoilers.
aren't
We're starting spoilers now.
They don't get shown. I mean, it's just
No,
That
but
who
you got
played them.
Nathan
Well, I
Fillion.
was well
Nathan
aware
Fillion
who
does
played
this
Lady
one.
Dead. I knew who was playing Lady Deadpool.
Yeah, Lady Deadpool's obvious, but then you
yeah.
got Matthew McConaughey playing the
The
cowboy.
cowboy,
Deadpool,
yeah.
and his kids are playing Baby Deadpool and Kid Pool.
Oh, the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine blew me away. That's my favorite arc in any comics. I love that whole arc in the comics. So to see him was fucking awesome.
so.
Okay,
The only
well-
one I didn't get was the crucified Wolverine. Was that a famous?
It's from a cover. Yeah.
Well, Uncanny X-Men number 251 cover.
I'm just going
All
to
right.
say, Kitty Bear, everything you've said about the movie didn't move him until you said AC/DC, and now he's going to go see it. This, Kitty Bear, you and I, we'll fist pump off that. We'll go out and have drinks. Yes,
until I-
AC/DC's awesome.
Okay.
Wait until I
You'll
tell you
enjoy the
about
Madonna.
Wait until I tell you about Ultimate Overdrive. What was it? Maximum
Maximum
Overdrive.
Overdrive.
Yeah,
Overdrive.
yeah.
Yeah, answer
right,
this
so-
one, Mad.
Go
I
ahead.
thought Mad didn't read.
Yeah, Argentum just
Okay,
posted
there we
something.
go. All right.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So
Tom.
how
Okay,
was all
Matt,
the
what else-
homoeroticism?
Was there
You
anything
love
else
that,
you didn't
right?
like about it, or was there? Or
There,
anything
there
else
was,
behind
but
it?
I'll let you guys go.
Okay. All right. Culture, go up next.
I
What'd
wanted to
you
hear
like
him
about
go
it?
off about the homoeroticism in the movie. God damn it!
Not enough. I
knew
wanted
it.
full penetration.
I
Nick
knew it.
almost spewed all over his.
Yeah.
Look
I
at this.
almost
Look
got
at this.
3. I almost got 3 with that one.
Nick's trying not to die.
My nose is burning, by the way.
All right. Culture takeover. What'd you like? What you didn't like?
My eyes are watering. The movie overall, I think, did a good job. I think this is the best depiction of Wolverine we've ever seen. I said that before,
Yeah.
but I think that the delivery of the angst that Wolverine feels at the fact that he's had a life of inadequacy, despite all of his best efforts and successes, and he always has allowed that one moment, whatever it happens to have been, to kind of be the defining moment for him. And it's almost always failure, even though he has so many successes. So this character kind of exemplified that in a way that I don't think that other versions of him have ever. And as all Wolverines, he's very self-sacrificing, right? And I felt like he actually is the audience for much of the film, kind of just absolutely annoyed by Deadpool.
Yeah.
And
It was.
and I've said that a couple of times. I'm very much more straightforward on the review that everybody will see tomorrow on my channel, but other than some pacing issues that I identified during the course of the film, I think this is probably the best representation of a Marvel movie since very early on, starting out with Iron Man and moving forward from there. I think it gives us some perspective when we balance it against something like an overly cameo-heavy like Endgame. There were cameos in this for sure, but what I felt like they were giving us a wonderful end for a lot of characters when it came to the Fox universe. The Fox universe definitely died in this, in their own version of purgatory, which is where they were in this film. And I feel like not acknowledging that would be silly if you're reviewing the film. This gives us redemption arcs for two characters at the same time who have never been allowed to be truly the hero at any moment for both Wolverine and Deadpool. And I feel like, the over-the-top humor, over-the-top, graphical violence with the CGI blood everywhere and all of that is kind of cathartic for an audience that has been subjected to a lot of mediocrity. So I really loved it. I still didn't give it a super high rating. I mean, if you watch my review tomorrow, I'll tell you the rating now. I only gave it an 8.5. But that's
I think an 8.5 is high, dude. Because for me, 5 is like mediocre.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I was trying to use my time for talking about this film. I apologize. What did you want to say?
Sorry, go ahead. I was just criticizing your rating system.
Jesus Christ, are you 90 years old?
Yes, he is.
Question.
Krusty.
I have a follow-up question. So you said it had pacing issues, right?
Yeah.
Was it similar to your speech just now?
Oh my God!
I thought the pace was great. I thought it was fine, especially when Deadpool told us we're in the home stretch. I'm like, yes, I get to piss soon.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was nice. All right. Anything else, Culture, you want to add?
Nothing. It's just what it really suffered from was, first of all, it accelerated because it understood, or excelled because it understood that it very much what it was. It was very self-aware.
Yeah.
It suffered from a few elements that were just overly done. I think everybody here can admit that there were things that were beating it to death.
Yeah.
So beyond all of that, for a change, we have non-stilted dialogue in a Marvel film. It doesn't feel overly formal or overly wrought, which we've had lots of problems with. And it didn't suffer from wokeness, which is the biggest win.
That's good.
We can never call out. And the fact that it actually called out wokeness and like the artificial victimhood of, the youngins was a good time. And look, what I really loved is they killed the bitch who was the villain. Fuck yeah.
Oh, right. The villain died.
Yeah, they actually made the female villain an actual villain and not a misunderstood anti-hero.
It was pretty...
she died at the end.
And I used bad words.
She was creepy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did. By
like
the way, she's an exceptional actress.
I was
Agreed.
she's a good actress.
She did a
She
great job.
actually was a good actress.
Yep. It was pretty close to how they did with Wanda and MOM, where she wasn't defeated; she kind of defeated herself, or like Shredder and Secret News. I said it was close to being that, but
not really. I mean, Deadpool Wolverine do defeat her by doing their self-sacrifice.
Yeah,
moment.
But it's not a direct fight.
Bro love, right?
No, it's not a direct fight, but
which we still have not seen when it's a female villain. I think if they really wanted to go against that trope, then it would have been a physical kill.
What I loved is one of her henchmen betrayed her. That was freaking awesome.
Well, was it the one she was having sex with?
It was Pyro.
Yeah, Pyro.
Okay.
By the way,
Manipulator.
a great returning character that actually gets like a great outro.
Is it the same kid?
It's the same guy,
same actor. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Same
nice.
actor.
That's
a lot of them are the same actors. Some of them not, obviously.
I'm going to say this: Garner was great because I actually enjoyed. This is going to get me flamed.
Which one was she doing?
I enjoyed Elektra.
Elektra Nachios.
Yeah. And what? Okay, and here's the thing: nobody said so far.
So she culturally appropriated it.
Nobody said so far. This important statement: flame on.
Yeah,
flame on.
Yeah, it did blow me away when
follow-up question to culture.
Okay, so What's his name who played
Who blew
Captain
you?
America?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, thank you. He's in it, and I immediately knew he was going to be Johnny Storm.
Did
I
you?
know.
I must
I
be
did
He's
because
not
I
doing
got
Cap.
it's Johnny Storm.
He's not doing Cap.
I
Yeah.
did because he got spoiled, but
I
yeah,
didn't know. I just took one look at my new immediately. It was not from Captain
Yep,
America.
same here.
Tom and I already knew that, but I was
Culture
just like,
said something.
I don't.
You
care.
said it was unstilted.
Yeah, no, yeah. it
How
wasn't
did
stilted
comics
dialogue.
see the movie?
I don't know.
Comics
Okay,
was
all right.
stilted, not the movie.
I seen
or the-
comics
that
in
was
the
a big
movie.
swing.
As
I know. I
Wolverine.
was just
Did
trying
you
to
guys see
segue
that?
to Brahma.
Oh, I saw that. The 5'3" Wolverine.
Yeah, that was okay. One of the things that they did in the movie is they actually had a height accurate Wolverine.
Oh,
and it looked goofy as fuck.
Oh no!
Yeah, it looked just like you,
immediately,
from what I heard.
immediately the mockery began. Like I was like, okay, that's why.
Please,
he's not,
somebody get me an
yeah,
image of that so I can reface him on it.
That is
Please.
why. That's why it is not comics' height. You know, you don't want a 5'2" Wolverine. Just doesn't look good. Okay, just doesn't work.
Wolverines are short and compact.
The only thing that sucked is there's like 2 times when Danny DeVito should have been in this movie, and that was one of them.
Yep.
You're right, Peter Venkman, with a high chair.
Should have been.
All right.
And I just come out like schnickety schnine, swinging my knives left and right.
Rama, what do you like? What you didn't like? Spoiler.
I enjoyed most of the cameos. I was not a fan of the Gambit cameo. I liked Gambit a lot. I thought the costume looked horrible.
Okay.
I thought Channing Tatum he did a good job
he worked
playing
hard.
Gambit,
Yeah.
but the costume looked ridiculous.
Okay, so let me ask
Shut
you a
the
question.
fuck up, culture.
Let me
Jesus.
get through a little of it before we stop me.
I get interrupted all the time.
And we let you get through most
got a
of
point.
what you were saying first. I thought my favorite version of Wolverine, and I thought it was probably the best version of Wolverine, was Cavalrine.
Oh,
I loved it.
That
Loved
was
it.
cool. That was fucking
It
cool.
made me think, man, if they had gotten him to play Wolverine at any point or took over for Hugh Jackman, he would be fantastic at it because he had the look
Yeah.
and the attitude, chewing on the cigar, and just overwhelming strength. I know that's not necessarily the accurate Wolverine, but he looked like a good Wolverine.
He looked like a good
put that up
Wolverine.
there.
I was like, holy shit, Henry Cavill's Wolverine. It's
Yeah.
like we have a replacement when Hugh Jackman wants to retire.
I thought
he looks great.
Yes.
I did love all the pokes at Marvel and Disney, but like I said, it's not going to age well. It's going to make this movie set in this time. I did like that they went after the woke and cancel culture because, I mean, the first time you see Blade, he says, "I thought you retired," and Blade goes, "Did you say retarded?" And he said, "No, I'm not trying to
that
get
was
canceled here.
hilarious.
I said retired."
Did you say retarded?
It's fucking funny.
Dude,
Yeah.
and that's a cool thing about Snipes. He's like, I don't give 2 shits. I'll fucking say that line.
Well, I don't think fucking what's his name cares either.
Reynolds.
Reynolds, thank you.
Yeah.
The other cameo that I thought was absolutely hilarious, and I don't know if any of you caught it. So, in the very first scene in the opening credits, the guy that he dissolves into into the void,
Yes.
one of the TVA agents, that was Rob McElhenney,
It
and they
was.
display Rob
I haven't seen
McElhenney's name as he
Yes.
kills that guy.
As he kills
And
him.
then
I missed that.
in
Made
the
it into
scene,
the film.
yeah,
Huh?
in the
Yeah.
scene in the hallway.
Okay.
When they first come get him, since it does like that flashback and
Oh, it's
goes
so
backwards
good.
thing, the one that he's talking about, the gaze is gazing at him. That's
Yeah.
also Rob McElhenney before he gets killed.
So I want to just break in real here. I watched Welcome to Wrexham. My family comes from Wales,
Oh,
so
wow.
so
You're bloody
Rob
Welsh.
McElhenney and
Okay, sorry.
Deadpool, they bought it, right? Ryan Reynolds bought the club, brought it up. It's been back-to-back promotions. It might, it's that
They've been
stuff
doing
there.
great. I mean,
In the middle of
Almost
that
unheard
show,
of.
okay, so that's on FX. They
Yeah.
show it on Hulu.
Welcome to Wrexham.
In the middle of that show, they were talking about stuff. Welcome to Wrexham. He was filming Deadpool,
Mhm.
and he called Rob and all this stuff, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to have Rob come in to do some cameos," and he had them beat him up.
Yep.
Do all kinds of explosions and stuff and dying and all this. And then he said, "This could be Rob, or this could be Rob, or this could be Rob, or this could be Rob." And everyone's
But
like,
they
"Oh,
actually
okay,
use
that's
the
been
credits to tell you which one is Rob because
Right,
his
but-
name comes on the screen when he's getting killed by Deadpool in the
At
opening
the
credits.
the last show for Welcome to Wrexham this year, he's in the Deadpool thing and stuff, and he comes up and says, "Oh, and we had to cut Rob out of the movie."
Right.
So, yeah, so I'm glad he was in there.
Before we get too far away from...
Oh, sure. Go, man.
I was just going to, because I didn't want, before we get too far away from the retard thing, it hit a little different in my screening because we had it legit, no hate, mentally, shut up the whole time. But like 3 rows behind, he was a real frittata. So when that line hit, everybody was an awkward, like,
Right.
People at my they were actually laughing their ass off when he said
He was probably laughing harder than
Well,
so the last part of my spoiler review, the thing
that is not how I thought that his joke was going to go. I thought he was going to say the retarded kid laughed the loudest.
Yeah, just starts cracking up.
That actually that sounds like Crypt Daddy. Oh God, I miss Crypt Daddy.
So I disagree with Mad. I thought one of the best scenes was all the Deadpools. I loved that scene. I loved Nice Pool and how that happens. I don't want to spoil every single thing to the point that, but the way Nice Pool goes out is hilarious.
Well, it's like what's funny is he's going to kill him from the moment he meets him, right? Because he wants his guns.
Because he wants those guns.
He wants his
and he
wants
no, he wants the guns.
It was a great payoff. I thought the
guns
were a great payoff.
He wants the dog and the Desert Eagles. That's what
the thing with that scene though that makes it different than the other fights. That was all one continuous shot.
Yeah, it was amazing. I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
It was like a 45-second to a minute and a half constantly going choreographed shot. I thought it was I thought that made it better, even though it's just a whole bunch of Deadpools fighting a whole bunch of Deadpools and Wolverine.
Did you catch the callback to it at the end when they're eating shawarma?
Yes.
They actually pull the bus across the screen. It's still got blood splattered all over.
Well, and the bus is the Stan Lee cameo. He's the advertisement on the side of the bus.
Yep. Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yep.
It's the image.
So,
I kept saying it.
And that's the advantage I had. I've already seen it 3 times. So I saw it 2 times. I saw it 1 time at the theater, and I managed to see 2 times
before we go too farther,
by the way, can you send me your other 2 advantages? Send me the access to your other 2 advantages, please.
Yeah,
Randall, they're horrible.
We love you. Short time now.
Okay, I actually have to hit the punch out button.
Okay,
but I want to say this.
You're gay.
See this movie. I mean, if you love Deadpool, if you love Wolverine, this might be the one chance you get to see both of these characters together for the first time ever in a way that actually matters. I enjoyed it. It's not the highest rated film I've seen this year. It is just, it's worth that $10. It is for a change. There's not a lot of movies I can say this year that are worth $10.
$10.
Jacob,
$10.
That's like $10. That's fucking cheap. Where'd you go see it?
Culture gets the old man rate, apparently.
You guys suck.
Senior
discount.
Don't listen to Jacob, and definitely don't listen to comics. Listen to Tom. Tom is the voice of reason for a change.
What about Mad?
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, okay. So listen to Mad.
Thank you.
It's hard for me to say that.
It wasn't gay enough for him, though.
No, I mean, well, it was plenty gay.
This movie was super fucking gay.
Not enough for him.
Strong disagree.
Deeple wants to make sure before Culture gets out that we read that last Rumble rant.
What happened now?
Just saw that. Let me go grab it.
Starred.
Oh, your other
right. Already? Okay,
you know what?
I like your new cock.
I might. Thank you.
Hat.
This new cock hat is phenomenal. Did you see the new cock shirt?
Your other cock old.
Okay, so Deeple says it took 24 years to finally see Wolverine.
Thank you.
Hollywood didn't want to print money ever.
Put that back on the screen right now. Thank you.
Who?
Put it back.
I'm not the one popping off the screen, motherfucker.
Somebody wants to get a waxing.
Okay, Hollywood didn't want to print money ever. Shame, Culture Mankini, or shave the beard. Hail Tom Connors, popcorn bucket for the win.
Yeah.
Bucket.
Look, let me say this. I believe I'm the best hobo Gandalf out there. We'll never know because Tox won't open the freaking box.
I opened the box.
Oh, what was in the box?
What's in the box?
You will all see.
Thank goodness, finally, because Andy literally shows up at my stream saying, "I thought you were going to promote."
I have to talk to Andy so he can help me read the runes.
But isn't he British?
No,
Andy?
he's here.
Andy?
It's not
No.
McCallum.
Oh,
it's the other Andy. It's
Mankini for the win.
Was
Was that Gaydolf?
Wow.
Gaydolf Hister.
Hobo.
Hobo Gaydolf.
You know what?
Hobo Gaydolf.
Release the McCracken gave you a great.
Hobo Gaydolf.
Hobo Gaydolf.
What? I didn't do it. I'm way over here.
We've only gotten through 3 spoiler reviews.
We're not
far.
through spoilers yet, Robbie.
Well, and Culture's already leaving.
I have to go.
And he's taken 20 minutes to do it.
I've been waiting for that, Tom. All right, here we go. We will punch you out.
Night Culture.
I get. Fuck you! I didn't get a chance to promote my shit.
What do you Culture? You want to? Okay.
Okay, I can.
Into the shadow realm goes Culture.
Wrong button.
You say brown button?
No, wrong button. He didn't hit the X.
You said brown button. I was like,
No,
that's really
please.
shitty of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, make
There's a
sure you're
6-minute daily every
subscribed
damn
to
day.
Culture Casino.
Or he'll punch your brown button.
You might do that anyway.
Like a fisting reference. He was making a lot of fisting
There
comments.
goes my joke for when you punch him out. Damn it.
Sorry.
Mad. I know you're appreciative of the cinnamon star or whatever was said tonight.
The cinnamon star? That's gonna burn. It burns when I poo.
It was actually that was actually in the movie we saw.
Yeah, everybody's
in the movie twice.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, don't put things up your butt. It's not going to end well.
Please
So-
don't.
Well, without permission.
I'm in.
What?
Don't put sanctioned things up your anus, is what he's saying.
Yeah, especially not planets. Anyway, all right, real quickly, do check out my channel, please. We're really close to 25K.
Don't
I
sound
will.
so desperate.
I'm gonna leave. Fucking punch me.
No, would you finish?
I don't fucking care anymore. Just let me out.
Aw,
I love you.
but we
This
care
is
about
not
you.
a brothel. You're not, wanting to take the whole hour.
You know what? You pay Tom for the around the world thing. I don't care.
These
Let me
minutes
get the
roll
fudge
over.
out of here.
His name is Culture Casino. You can find him literally everywhere under Culture Casino. Follow his YouTube. Follow his Green Machine. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him
Go to his
everywhere.
6-minute daily.
You can also find him in the
watch
movie
the
theater
6-minute daily when you need a nap. 'Cause
That game
everyone
place.
loves culture.
That game place.
You can also
Go
find
to
him
that
during the
game
4
place.
p.m. matinee. That's
Just
$10
buy
a
my
day.
clothes. Go buy the hat, the shirts.
Beachpunk.com.
Yeah,
Go to
and-
beachpunk.com.
you buy his
Beachpunk.com.
socks,
Yeah, and buy the shoes. We got handbags.
Why are you pointing
Ladies,
at your
ladies.
penis?
We like ladies. Well,
Because he's got
No.
I mean,
You
Matt,
You don't speak for all of us.
let me
Like
out
Ben.
of here.
Yeah, can we let him finish?
Yeah, get the straight guy out of here.
Can I go home?
No.
Yeah.
Is that the cue?
Are you not home?
Yeah, that's the cue. That's what Tom was going to do.
That was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
All right.
So I'll leave the rest of the spoilers to everybody else to spoil. So I got some of my major ones in.
I gotta cut that. I gotta cut that out.
Jacob,
And
you're
right
you're
when
up
it goes
next.
gay, I'm gonna flash a picture of Culture Casino up there. Personalized
now that-
outros.
Well, now that emo culture is gone, we can talk about all the things that didn't work for me for this film. So I had a laundry list of complaints here. Hold on, I got listed down in numerical order. Number one, the music selection. Did not care too much for the music selection right out of the gate. If you guys recall, the very opening scene is Deadpool axe murdering a bunch of people to the
Hell
sounds
yeah.
of Limp Bizkit. I'm not Limp Bizkit. In Sync. It probably would have been better if it was Limp Bizkit. No, it's In Sync's
Absolutely
Bye
not.
Bye Bye.
No, that was the joke. It was
That was-
one of the gayest
He
songs
even- he
you could
even did-
pick, and he danced and killed everybody.
And I
if it was
got
Limp
that it
Bizkit,
was-
that would have been
funny.
that would have been an anti-joke with Limp Bizkit.
All things aside, though, it was a great album. No strings attached. It slaps to this day.
Like, and I get it if it was like an open.
So
I knew that was the part that was like, okay, this is where the human's supposed to be. But then, like later on in the film, it's just like one awkward like song choice after another. Like at one point, they're playing like Ti during like one of the in sequences of the movie. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, now this is completely like run off the wheels here. The music selection, it reminded me a lot of Suicide Squad. If you remember the first Suicide Squad movie, tried to do this with the one in 2016. I had the exact same problem with this one too. It feels like when you try to put in like modern like songs into the middle of the film, it does more to pull you out of the movie than actually place you in, which is why I'm not a big fan of it at all. This is absolutely fan service, the movie, which is why I was saying in the early part of my review, if you are kind of more of a casual fan who's just like one to sit and watch like a comic book movie, you're not going to understand a lot of the references to this film. This does require you to essentially be an indie nerd when it comes to everything about the Fox cinematic universe, all the rumors about the Fox cinematic universes. People saying, why is Channing Tatum Gambit in this film? Because, well, they've been trying to make a Gambit movie with him for the last 15 years, and it never happened. So this is his only opportunity to be Gambit in what can be called a Marvel movie, which is basically just referencing, hey, yeah, you were in a movie that never actually got made. But,
well,
hey,
the funny thing, Jacob, that like my audience lit up when he stepped out as Gambit. Like, I think a lot of people actually were aware of that.
Yeah, we said,
Well,
oh shit, in unison.
Yeah.
And all of his lines are basically, I wanted to do this. I never got a chance.
Yeah.
Basically that's his whole dialogue through the movie is, I finally get to do this. I finally get my chance.
I can do this, guys.
It was very reminiscent of 22 and 21 Jump Street, which I thought he was fantastic in. I think he's way funnier than people give him credit for.
I got a really odd take about your take so far. I don't disagree with a lot of the things you're saying, and that's coming once again from the perspective that I really enjoyed this. I thought that the music was awful, but that didn't affect my enjoyment of the movie outside of one song.
I think the music's very on brand, actually.
It's exactly what they've done.
I disagree with the whole like comparing it to Guardians, because I'd say it's on brand with the first two Deadpool films.
Agreed.
I'd say it's a better soundtrack than the second one.
But well, another thing too, back to,
to
the point about fan service, I will take fan service over anti-fan service any day. Okay, but there is a difference between fan service and member berries, though, which I think the movie actually did have a lot of. But the fan service done right is good. In my opinion.
See, I kind of look at it from two tales of two extremes. Like, I think we're all like so used to like Star Wars, for example, where they just go so far and beyond just to shit all over the fan base to the point where it's like it's not even entertaining anymore. Versus the complete opposite side, where you're pandering so much to the fan base, like it's not even like its own unique thing. I think what you guys were saying earlier about this film is going to feel dated is that once all of the like kind of like the member berries and the nostalgia of this whole thing wears off, you watch it like again, it's not going to have the same effect as you watching it.
I completely agree. Yeah.
But that's
that
all
part I agree with, and I also said about the inside baseball. Like, I'll be surprised if most people know the Channing Tatum joke or some of the other stuff, right? Or even like this stuff about, Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds not getting along. Or there's so many Feige jokes and other things that if you don't know who Kevin Feige is, then you're also going to be like, who?
Yeah.
But the bigger joke out of that cameo was the one that Deadpool goes, and you are Wonder, and she's like, Elektra, and he's like, yes, we should have known that. And she was probably the one that everybody would know except for Blade. I mean, they don't address the Channing Tatum thing. They address Elektra being the unknown.
Last time she was Elektra was what, 2005?
Yeah, in
a movie that nobody liked.
There were so many more deserving
not that nobody
people.
liked, no one saw it, and the 5 people that saw it, they didn't like it either. No one.
The director's cut's better, but
wow,
she was
what an endorsement. The director's cut's better of a movie.
Yes, it is better.
Right.
That's all I said.
So,
but she's still bad in it, as she was in this movie. She was the worst part of it. There were so many other characters they could have brought in from the 20, Fox mutants that deserved to have that ending.
She didn't match the energy of Wesley Snipes and Channing Tatum at all. Like, it felt like she just like didn't want to be there. Like,
I agree with, was it Matt or somebody else who said that like it felt like a 9th choice or something like that? Like they asked Halle Berry, they asked this person, they asked that person because they needed a woman besides X-23, right, to make it even. So all the women they asked said no, except for Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner was asked very early on. So
I'm sure they asked just about anybody and everybody involved, and these are the people that probably came back with a yes in their schedules.
She played
also.
Elektra in them.
Because the initial casting.
No. I get that. But my point is you have this little group, because this is one thing I enjoyed about the movie, and I said this already about. I think I said it here. I've been on 3 streams already about this, but this is basically what Multiverse of Madness should have been, because you actually get the cameos that they actually do play a role in the plot, right? They get to be there and actually do something, and they're kind of integral.
Except Sabretooth.
It's sort of like, and that's part of that joke, I think. But there's also, I think, another thing to go off of the pacing thing earlier is, I feel like a half hour of this movie is probably left on the cutting room floor. I think the Wolverine montage goes longer. I think the Sabretooth fight goes longer. I'm sure there's a lot of other things here and there that got trimmed down quite a bit. But at the end of the day, I thought the cameos were very well served in the story, regardless of Jennifer Garner probably being the weakest of all. I would agree with that part of it.
Well, she's just an angry face like Michelle Rodriguez or any of the other ones that thinks looking angry makes you tough.
I'm surprised he didn't cross our arms.
Whose spoiler review do we have left to go?
Quite a bit.
Mads.
Yours? Do you need to get out of here?
I didn't see it. No, I was just wondering. I was going to ask real quick, though, because I'm a person who stopped after Endgame and didn't suffer through any of the garbage that you guys went through and stuff. But I've seen both of the Deadpool movies. Would this be a movie, if that's my baseline, that I would enjoy? Just those 2 Deadpool movies, and
they even address it. He gives a whole speech about how everything after Endgame, the whole Phase 4 thing, is useless. We need to get rid of the multiverse.
Let me address your statement more directly.
There's whole things about it.
Yeah.
There's things that happen. Even though I'm not a fan of Deadpool 2, there are things that happen in that movie that spill over into this movie as, I guess you could say, there are consequential actions. So it lets you know that those 2 movies do matter in the grand scheme of things. So even though I was not a fan of the second movie, I can respect that they acknowledge that, because it lets you know that, okay, even though I'm not fond of that second movie, it was a complete waste of my time because they're acknowledging it and that it happened, and they're using it to play off into this third movie.
Good.
And it's unlike Doctor Strange and the Mom, which is not a sequel to Doctor Strange. You can at least say Deadpool Wolverine is a sequel to Deadpool 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the other problem, though. You have both required and not so required homework for this movie, I'd say.
Loki was not required at all.
Loki was not required at all.
I would put that in the
exposition dump immediately.
I don't know, because I'm kind of lost on who that fucking monster was, and I have not seen the show, and I don't give a shit.
I've seen the show, and I don't fucking remember.
The cloud monster, I remember.
Yeah, they made a joke about it.
Directly out of the show.
Yeah.
Now you do have to have seen most of it, if not all of the
angles from the show. Too,
yeah, the whole TVA angles from there. I mean,
well, it's not just from the show. TVA is actually in the comics, so I mean, just
true. But
and they do explain it.
Look, let me finish here. Here's the thing: this movie, first and foremost, it's made for the movie fans first of the Fox X-Men films. That's what this is mainly for. If you've seen all those movies and the Deadpool films, you're good to go. You really have to have seen Logan. That's the main one. I mean, you could have missed out on a few other X-Men movies, probably, but you're going to miss out on who some of these people are when they pop up later on, because there's a lot of cameos from former X-Men people in the film.
I don't know. They say it, though. I mean, they show scenes from Logan and explain why it was so important, and he actually does talk about who X-23 is before X-23 comes on screen. And explains why
remember the whole... Hang on. The opening scene, I mean, digging Logan out of the grave.
Yeah,
I mean, that if you don't know that he died at the end of Logan, then you wouldn't get why he's digging up his grave and pulls out basically a skeletal Wolverine. Because
there is a lot of stuff that I do feel like, yes, they do a pretty good job of explaining it for the most part for the casual viewer, for the most part. But I've talked to now 2 people who have seen it with normies. And Mark D was one of them. He was on our stream earlier, and he said his normie friend was lost through a lot of this movie.
So
and I had the same thing that was said about my other buddy who I just talked to in between the shows here, who said the same thing. They had no fucking clue who most of these people were. They knew some of the comic book stuff, but they didn't know they didn't know the Channing Tatum bit.
Yeah,
they didn't understand why he was there. They didn't understand why Henry Cavill was there. They didn't understand
Right.
all this stuff referring back to stuff from the Marvel and stuff like that. All that inside baseball stuff we were talking about before.
So
that's going to be a problem, I think, for certain people.
I'm in the same boat that Corey is, right? I haven't seen any of the other films. In fact, I haven't even seen Endgame. No, I saw Endgame. I didn't see the one before that, Civil War. Just looks stupid. So, yeah, and I hate Spider-Man. So there you go. But what Corey's, I'll be in the same boat when I go see it with my kids and stuff on Saturday. The best scene out of any of the first two Wolverines, first two Deadpool movies that I enjoyed and laughed the most was when Vanisher died.
Oh yeah, right.
So
The fucking
Brad Pitt.
That was Brad Pitt.
yeah, if you want a movie to make money, it's got to go for that crowd that doesn't need to do all this homework. That's the kind of bit in Deadpool 2 that I laughed out loud at.
Yeah, because it was funny.
And that harkens back to South Park when George Clooney wanted to be on so bad and they made him a gay dog that only barked, right? That's stuff that normies get. So when
it's
I'm
funny you
hearing
said that, Tox, because I said this is basically if the guys from South Park made a Marvel movie. But go ahead.
Okay, and so I think I'm going to enjoy it from that standpoint. But there's a lot of stuff that I didn't read these comics. I didn't watch all these films. I'm not going to get all the references. But if I can get some of them, and there's no dead space in between, I've got to go through 30 bits before I get to one that I understand, then I think I'm going to enjoy the film.
Well, I mean, but this is like the central flaw in all of these like MCU films at this point, because you're talking about just in the MCU like category itself, you're going back 15 years worth of movies now, and then when you add on the Fox universe on top of this, because let's be honest, this film is really just kind of like a love letter to like all of the Fox Marvel movies that have been done all the way since like 1999. So it gives like odes to the original X-Men movies, a little bit to Blade, a little bit to the Fantastic Four. So everything that Fox has brought to the table up to this point.
Well, and it's
pretty much the
also
song of all movies.
It also basically closes. What made me almost very sad is at the very end. It doesn't end with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or anything like that on the last shot, because it is going through all these years of mostly Fox men and stuff like that stuff.
Yeah.
It ends with the 20th Century Fox logo.
Yes, it did.
Meaning it's kind of like, and that's what I kind of hit me really hard. Was like, okay,
Yeah, that
so
was
this
a
is Disney
send-off.
basically saying that, there's no more Fox anymore, kids.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to get some of these comments from Fail
Sorry, I
J.
didn't know if there was more to your point than that, but yeah.
Hannibal
No,
King,
no,
was that Ryan Reynolds' character in Blade Trinity?
Yes, and it would have been funny if he had done that.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
he was.
Have him be an alternate of his alternate.
Yeah, he
a
was
cameo
not,
of himself in his other movies. Yeah,
he was not in it. They did have Vinnie Jones as Juggernaut, but it wasn't Vinnie Jones.
It wasn't Vinnie Jones. That was the joke.
No,
They
no.
actually
Yeah,
they see Juggernaut and they say, "So are you this year's Juggernaut?"
Yes.
Yeah,
because he's
so many
different in every
ones,
movie.
yeah.
Like Ryan Reynolds played him in the Deadpool movie.
Well, there was a
Or
funny
Deadpool
nod about the Punisher right before Blade had his great line, because Deadpool's like, what? There's been like 5 Punishers, and that's when Blade, Wesley Snipes, said, "Well, there's only one Blade, and that's the only one there'll ever be." And I was like, that was the best like setup payoff line ever. There's only one Blade, it's the only one there'll ever be. It was a great response to the Punisher line as well. So it was a double. Like, it was just absolutely awesome line for Wesley Snipes, and it
But
was
while-
good to see him in action. It was really fun to see him in action.
While Hannibal's not in it, they do have Snipes and Reynolds react to each other as Snipes basically just says, I hate you," and I think Reynolds said, "You always have,"
I
or
think
something
you said,
to
"I
that
can't
effect.
I still can't stand,
stand you."
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, or something like that. I think they said, or something like that. It was
That
something
was
similar to that.
That was pretty funny. Sorry, Jacob. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we've covered like a lot of the issues that I have with the film, but like I said, it's really just going to split down the middle. I think you guys have perfectly shown it here. It's like if you're like a hardcore Marvel movie fan or a comic fan, you understand like all the references, you're going to have more fun with this movie. But if you're the type of person where a lot of the stuff that, especially like the really like hitting aspects of this film, like the cameos and the references, if all that stuff goes over your head, you're probably going to have less to sing home about than everybody else does. And I think that's what divide here for this film is. It's like it's basically going to split between how big of a fan of the Deadpool universe or the universe surrounding this whole thing that you actually are, and that's going to determine kind of how much you actually enjoy this film or not.
I'm surprised you're not hitting on the one thing that I thought was the fatal error that they did in the plot and the movie itself.
Well,
how does he get to Earth 616 to go interview with Happy?
Oh no!
When all he has is time travel. He doesn't have the ability to change multiverses. So he went to Earth 616, and that it says it on the screen.
It says it on the screen, yeah.
And then it says Earth 10,005. Right
well,
after
that requires you to remember the ending of Deadpool 2 because, like I said, they were going based off. Because remember the ending of Deadpool 2.
He could jump time. He couldn't jump multiverses. That Cable's time machine is time in his own situation. So the fatal error with their plot is that he was able to jump multiverses before he even knew what the multiverse was, when he should only be able to go backwards or forwards in time with Cable's time machine or time thing.
Device, yeah.
Two other quick points, just real quick. One about the villain. I don't mind, like, what was her name? Emma Curran, whatever her name is, as the villain. I felt like that as far as plot wise, they really didn't have much for her here. I felt like she was only there because they needed a villain to advance the plot, because they kind of set the whole thing up as if, you know, the suit from the TVA was going to be the villain that they had to stop. But then they realized, well, we can't have a superhero blowout with Deadpool Wolverine fighting a suit. So that's why they had to justify her plot, especially towards the end where she like jumps to another universe after we kind of already faded her out into it. That felt like kind of a late change to me on that aspect. And then the second thing was I didn't know so many people had such a negative view of Logan afterwards too, because for people saying that somehow this was Hugh Jackman's best representation as Logan, like I can't buy that like at all.
Well,
he had the uniform or the costume. He went into the poses, the classic poses for Wolverine constantly. Yep. He kind of looked like a retard when he was trying to run after being in the crouched pose, but that could be because he's like 70 years old. I think that's what we're talking about. There was the ultra violence of what a Wolverine would be. He has the costume. I thought
he's always been a great actor as Wolverine, but this is like we've actually have Wolverine on screen, costume and all. That's like one of the biggest complaints that people have about, you know, a lot of comic book movies is that we don't actually get the representation of the character because either they don't have the suit or, you know, it's not the personality or whatnot. This is like the first time we've seen the Wolverine on screen. Even though Hugh Jackman has been playing the guy for over 20 years at this point.
And I will say this, somebody in the comments just said that Logan was Wolverine for adults, because the tone of that film is completely different to the tone of this one for the obvious reasons. That one was basically, hey, look, this is the end of what we at least thought was the end of Hugh Jackman's run as the character. So this is going to be a more somber, you know, darker tone to it.
It was an artistic in that take
film,
on it.
Yeah, and in that film, he's playing Logan. He's not playing Wolverine like versus this film is playing more to the comic book character that, or at least the representation of the comic book character that people have wanted to see for 25 years and hadn't gotten until this movie.
Its somberness was boring and gay, and I was just like, wow.
Not even looking. I mean, I guess if you're looking forward to it.
I believe what I said about this being Logan because I said it. That's all. Like that's all I need is my own endorsement. I believe that it's the best Wolverine interpretation because I said it is, and I look at this, I'm like, that's freaking Wolverine.
I think the comic book people are going to say that. I truly do. I think the comic book people are going to feel, because I think although a lot of people liked Logan, there was a lot of people who were upset about what they did with that story.
Oh yeah, and
the
I'm
comic
one of
book
them.
people,
and a lot of normies love Logan. It's one of Logan's like one of those movies for people who say they don't like comic book movies, but they like Logan.
Well, because it was.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It was not necessarily a comic book movie, even though it was.
So
it's a Western with Wolverine in it.
That's why. They like it.
Well, that's what Old Man Wolverine is supposed to be, though. It's a Western. It's a dystopian future, and it's a great comic book series, and that's what that movie is mostly based off
Hulk
of.
babies, basically.
No, you didn't.
Shit
You
like
didn't.
that.
Right, you didn't get
It
Old
had
Man
more of
Logan.
a, like-
You got a Logan that was old.
Yeah.
It had like more of a, I guess you can kind of say, kind of Punisher Max more type feel to it, where it's like more of like not like a traditional comic line, and you would think like it's a more mature
Punisher
version.
Max was as
Mm-hmm.
comic booky as it got with Punisher Warzone.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Punisher Warzone was basically a love letter to Punisher Max.
Yeah.
I'd actually
Mm.
argue Warzone is one of the most faithful movies in the history of ever as far as comics go. Warzone, like seriously, you look at Ray
R.I.P. Ray
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
He looks like rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. He looks like a Steve Dillon drawing, a walking Steve Dillon drawing from the Garth Ennis run.
And this film, just real quick, this film did make a reference to the Punisher because like they were mentioning and go, oh, they killed Punisher in the Void. It's like, well, which one? It's like 5 guys who played him up to this point. So,
but it's a multiverse. It could be any of them. I mean, that's kind of the stupid point of multiverses, and that's kind of the point that they made in the movie.
Right.
The multiverse crap is dumb. Let's be done with it. Nothing's been good since Phase 4. And then Van Milder is like, I've loved everything since Endgame.
Van Milder.
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
That was between him trying to be the contrarian, saying he's loved everything since, and then calling him Van Milder as a nod. I'm the only one who laughed at the Van Milder line.
I know. I laughed at that.
I laughed at the Van Milder. The whole
No
theater went
one.
silent when he said, I can also poke the fourth wall, and then turned and was like, the proposal. Everybody
No
was
one
just dead
in
silent
my
until
theater.
it got off the screen.
No one in my theater laughed at Van Milder. No one acknowledged the John Byrne part but me when he mentioned John Byrne because of having the Hulk on his claws, which was a nod to Incredible Hulk issue 340, I think. And
Well, they mentioned it.
and then
I thought it was
Wolverine's wearing a brown suit.
147 or 149 or
The
something.
first appearance of him in that suit is what they said.
Well,
in
and
the
I didn't
movie.
catch
No,
the
no, it's
whole-
the first appearance of Wolverine. It's the Wolverine
Yeah,
cameo.
first appearance of the Wolverine is it's in issue 340, and you see the
Oh, is it
Hulk's on his
340? Okay.
claws. Whereas obviously the only subtle difference is in the comic, Hulk is gray and not green, where you see in the movie. But it's still very well played, and it was cool to see the brown suit as well. Also,
Yeah.
you had the actual Old Man Logan with the top hat. You also had Patch as well. Then you had the homage to the cover of Uncanny X-Men 251, which is drawn by Mark Silvestri as well. Fantastic artist.
Was that the
And
crucifixion one?
Yes, it was that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was
Oh,
really cool.
okay.
that-
Okay. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
It was really cool to see that, okay, you don't find these things on accident. These are things you actually have to go out and look for. And they did. And that was awesome to see that they were that acknowledging of the source material. That used to be like almost like one of the rules, especially during like phase 1 and to a point phase 2. And then it was slowly starting to shift away in phase 3. They would start taking elements, but then in phase 4, it would start becoming in name only. And now we're starting to see those things becoming apparent again, which is awesome to see. There's also the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine, which is cool to see as well. I really like that. And of course, the comic accurate 5'3" height based Wolverine, which is a funny nod as well. Seeing that, I was like, okay, cool. I really enjoyed that.
Which one was the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine?
Super
one
bushy,
in the alley
long-haired,
next to the
okay.
trash
Yeah.
can.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought.
Where he just instantly starts beating the crap out of him, and he's got
okay, that's why I
wild hair.
For some reason, I thought that was Ultimate Wolverine, but I guess not. That was Age of Apocalypse. Okay,
No, Ultimate was definitely Cavalry.
Let's see, Nick. Anything spoiler wise you want to add? Good, bad?
This is a small thing. I'll start off with the small thing. And this is something that I have a problem with, even with the movies that now that I like, but like even more than this movie. One of my biggest problems I've had, even since the glory days, Ryan Reynolds kept his suit on most of the movies without taking his mask off every 5 minutes.
Yep.
I love it's almost like he knows that this role brought him a lot more fortune to his career, and the fact that he had to take his mask off every 5 minutes just to talk and show my face, I thought it was really cool that he actually kept it on most of the movie. I thought that was awesome.
Or he didn't want to have to go through makeup for 8 hours every day on set.
Yeah,
You're way too
Probably.
gay
I
to be
don't blame
thinking
him.
like that. But okay,
I don't blame him.
Well,
okay.
the times that he took it off were the emotional moments where he wanted his face to be able to actually
But it
to
worked.
actually
But the thing is,
express.
he had it on. It's not like he's just done this movie. It's all 3 movies.
Yep.
He's had it, the suit on, mask included, throughout most of the movie. He's not taking off every 5 minutes. He doesn't go.
Well, and he
out-
made himself as ugly as possible without the mask.
I was gonna
so
say,
it's
that's
definitely
why,
not a
because
vanity thing for him,
Even so,
regardless.
even
Well, that's
so,
just it,
most
because it takes him
actors-
3 times as long to put on the makeup too.
I know, but even so,
That's what
most
Matt was getting at.
Most actors would have still wanted to have had their face seen. Even so, and I'm gonna give him that credit because that is absolutely worthy of acknowledgement.
Yeah, that was like the problem with the Dread movie with Stallone is that he didn't want to wear the fucking helmet.
Yeah. As much as I love Stallone, that was, and then Carl Urban comes in and wears the helmet the entire damn movie, which is cool to
And
see.
it was a much better movie.
Oh fuck yeah!
Well,
I mean, yeah, it was a direct.
Obviously. Now, anyways, I love the chemistry of Jackman and Reynolds. They worked really, really well together, and the action was actually really good in this movie. It was just brutal, and it felt like I was watching comic scenes come to life, which is really cool to see. And it felt like the multiverse story was just an extension of Deadpool and Wolverine's personal stories that they had. It didn't feel like it was the only thing that was, because I thought it was only going to be that. I didn't think it was going to have any, once again, meat to the bone that we end up seeing in this movie. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm happy to be wrong about this. Of course, seeing Blade again was freaking awesome. I was really, really stoked seeing that. I think that was probably the loudest they were about was seeing Wesley Snipes. Because I mean, how could you not? Wesley Snipes is freaking. He is Blade. I feel like Wesley Snipes is in the pantheon of Robert Downey Jr. and Christopher Reeve. There will always be this Iron Man, this Superman, this Blade. Wesley Snipes is that way with Blade for me. It's not even close. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I really, really liked him in this movie. I was like, okay, this is awesome. He's super berserk crazy. I felt like this was the closest we got to a berserker mode with him. But also his story, like seeing he was the one that failed. And there was even a meaning to the suit, which they did not have to do. They didn't have to do that. They did not. I would have been fine with just the suit being there for fan service, because I have no problem with fan service. But the fact that they added layer to that was a nice little bonus. So I was like, okay, once again, cool. And then of course, what's up? Bravo?
Since you brought up the Berserker Wolverine, did you think that they were going to have him kill Baby Pool?
No.
Because
I wanted to
even
home.
even Deadpool was like, "Uh-oh," and I mean, you could definitely see Wolverine was still, huffing and puffing from the fight.
They
and
learned their
ready to
lesson from
do
the Flash.
something.
They learned their lesson from the Flash. That would have killed the test screening if they had done that.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But they kind of alluded to, we might.
Yeah. Well, look, like I said, I felt like all of the MCU, all the jabs at it felt very pre-approved in the most toned down versions that they probably started with. And it was all lampshaded by we can't do cocaine. That just felt like it was lampshading them being able to actually criticize it in a real way, or rather in the way that they probably intended before it had to get approved by.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about how you're entering the MCU at a low point,
I thought that was
and talking
great.
about how everything past Phase 4 sucked.
Yeah. Well, I
And
feel like that.
multiverse sucks.
Okay, the reason why it's approved because they know it, and Kevin
Yes.
Feige wants to pivot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
that
that's the
is an
reason why I
admittance
think-
of it too.
They basically admitted that this has been failing, which is good. But
Right.
at the same time, for me, a lot of the jabs at Disney, I'll be honest with you, got fucking old.
Night Court.
Wow,
Corey,
that's saying a lot.
Corey, you
from
got a bill?
Night, yo.
Especially considering the fact that Disney bought Fox like 6 years
Sorry,
ago. Like,
Corey, I
this
missed
isn't a
it.
new thing at this point either.
Can we get back to that giant plot hole Brahma brought up and nobody wanted to fucking talk about? Because it blew my mind with the whole how did he get to 616?
Corey
Or not,
left.
I'll Google it.
No. We'll get back to that. Sorry, I got to get Corey out of there so he's not.
No,
spinning.
Corey already left.
Corey
Yeah.
left. Okay, all right. I just want to say Basco and the stuff. He got the Deadpool one.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm never
mug
going
and
to
stuff like
Silverado
that.
They
again.
didn't have the
So-
cups like that at my theater.
Lucky.
They had
That's
something
the one
else.
I wanted.
I bet they did at the Palladium, but I had to go to the ghetto one.
Yeah.
Oh God, man.
That's real nice. I can see that, and it's got the belt and stuff around. There's a lot of details in these cups. That's really pretty cool.
Yep.
So, but
It's really
I wanted
nice.
to show that real quick. I'll get that.
George just got out of the movie too.
George.
Hey, George.
Hello,
What's
sir.
up, George? All right, Tom. What are your kind of like spoiler thoughts? Good, bad, etc.
I did not catch the plot hole that was brought up before, but I did kind of sit there and wonder at the end. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wolverine can't sacrifice himself because Ryan Reynolds needs him in his universe. That's kind of the whole crutch of the plot, right?
Right.
Like he plucks him from another universe that didn't need him, and he plucks him, put him in another universe. They're supposed to put him in another universe that does to save his universe.
Right. They kind of abandoned that.
It not really. It works out that way at the end.
Yeah.
It just like basically Ryan Reynolds when he's explaining he should have it's just one line they should have put in there when he shuts the door, and he should have said, "Besides, you have to live or my friends die." And then that's when he should have done the switch real quick and flipped out and done the
I think that would have worked better. Yeah.
See, and that's the thing is because he's doing it, and that's kind of the whole point is this movie has a great arc for both of the characters because like Deadpool's somebody who's always never taken seriously, and he wants to do something with his life for once and be somebody, and that's kind of the thing is his biggest fear is that he'll never amount to anything. And then you got the other Wolverine who's a failure from his dimension or his whatever. His timeline, whatever the fuck you want to call it, to where he has this chance now to be the hero he always could have been, right? And I thought that was a very good story. I thought it was a well, a nice arc or a theme for the film. I thought the ABC story was decent enough. I disagree like with the villain aspect because the true villain is obviously the TVA guy. The Xavier sister chick, she's just like their big boss they have to fight before they get to the main guy. But then she kind of, she just becomes an adversary because they got to get out. And then when she realizes she's being double crossed, she's still bad, but she just goes after the other guy who's double crossed her, right? Like, so that's kind of the whole thing. I didn't have a problem with any of that plot. I thought it was great. I was pissed because I thought they were going to have her turn to the good side. And that's what I got pissed about at first. But otherwise, I thought the whole movie was about healing. And I thought that was kind of a theme that went through both the movie. And I think it was kind of saying, this is kind of a way of saying, yes, Marvel does need to heal. We've been hearing rumors that Kevin Feige's been licking his wounds and he does know that there's problems. We do know there's a few movies.
He fucking knows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No doubt about it.
After this.
It's obvious. I mean, yes, we know we got to get through a couple other movies to get to the other side of this thing. Because this movie was thrown together real quickly. This is like a Spider-Man No Way Home situation.
Tom,
yeah, exactly.
This
is
is
a lot like Spider-Man No Way Home.
Hang on, one time.
It was the only thing greenlighted under Bob Chapek, and Feige was originally resistant to this movie happening. And
he told Hugh Jackman, "Don't do the movie." Legit told him not to do it.
He straight up told him not to do this movie. Yeah, that's true.
But I was just gonna say on the Deadpool plot, it felt very reminiscent of what he just did in Deadpool 2 about wanting to be a hero. Yeah, exactly. I do like this version of that story better. Yeah,
but that's kind of like the issue because Tom did bring it up here too. It's like the whole film has to kind of justify our reason why it's even exists because it's trying to do a redemption story for two characters that kind of already had one coming into this one. It's like I said, it's basically coming off the heels of Logan and coming off the heels at least the plot line of the last Deadpool movie. You had to bring two characters back to kind of justify a movie and justify a purpose for it, which is why everything kind of felt like rushed in this.
When did Wolverine had already proper redemption?
Okay, first off, it was rushed because of the writer's strike. That is a huge issue with it because like some of the beginning CG does reflect the fact that it was a bit rushed because it didn't
skeleton, especially
some of the CGI was pretty
skull.
good though.
Well, no, yeah, it was
Weta
also
did
good,
the CGI in this. It wasn't
very
ILM.
beginning. It wasn't as great, but it's like it's fine though, right? It's passable. It's like maybe like early 2010s CG. It's not like egregious like we've seen before, but for the most part, it's like. But you could tell like that shit was fucking rushed. Even though the opening scene was actually pretty funny.
The opening scene, the blood was extremely fake looking. So was the skull flying.
I don't know. I saw it in 3D and I thought it looked really cool.
Oh no! Oh man!
I thought, okay, the CG
That
for me
opening
was hit
scene
and
was
miss.
fucking awesome in 3D.
What in
Yeah, it
3D?
was awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a 3D movie in years.
See, and maybe that's because normally I'm a stickler for CGI because like the scenes I'm talking about, especially was like when she gets into that one dude's head and she's like moving him around like a puppet.
Yeah,
and when
that
it hit-
shit,
the way
that
it
shit
hit-
was great.
That looked really
very
good.
Yeah,
And I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And then I seen at the end that Weta, as the credits were rolling, I seen Weta Digital in there, not ILM. I'm like, well, that explains that.
Well,
So-
they did the very important CG stuff. They did well. The very unimportant stuff, like the opening credits.
Lady
it
Deadpool
like
didn't
they
look
put
so
as much
well.
time.
A bunch of the Deadpools you could tell were CGI, but then the
Yeah.
big long shot though, you could tell a lot of those guys were real.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. The long
no,
shot I thought was fantastic.
Is it a perfect movie? No. Is it better than the second one? Definitely. Is it as good as the first one? No, but I thought it was funner than the first one. I had a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
For
will
me,
it last
the best
another
of the
10
three.
years? Not likely.
Yeah.
But will it have legs? I think so.
I don't know
The
how
problem
likely
is, I think people are going to go see it immediately because they don't want the spoilers.
We already have an idea of how this weekend is going. They have the early numbers out right now are between 35 and 40 million, and they're saying it could go above that, which isn't a breaker for like the first day. It's like half of what Avengers did last one, but it
the
will
numbers
probably
I saw
break.
Odin putting up were opening weekend 200.
I was just gonna say what it'll equal out to is about 200 million open weekend, and it might beat Joker's opening weekend.
That's not gonna be
if it's,
hard.
It's consistent. It'll make $1 billion. But then here's the other problem. I mean, this is kind of a long-term problem here is that we all know that this is the film that they were waiting on to kind of like bring life back into the MCU. The only problem is that, okay, now that even if this movie is a success, what do you have coming out afterwards? You could probably saw
That's
a
a
preview
problem.
in your theater for the new Captain America movie, right? So they're somehow going to hope that this film and the success of this film is going to propel people to want to go see the Captain America movie
No.
next year.
Didn't
The
move
only
me
problem
one
is
bit.
that none of the news about that film behind the scenes is any good at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
I
gonna be a
agree on
hard
that,
sell.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
okay.
shooting it again, so maybe they have a chance.
Well,
wait, which movie are we talking about?
Captain America, they're
Captain
reshooting
America
it again.
4.
They're reshooting it again. It's like
Yeah,
holy.
for the third time or whatever.
They
yeah.
just love putting money into
Well, it's like they
Well,
just
they
released
have
the
to. They
fucking
gotta
trailer.
fix it. It's a piece of shit. That's
So
what
I
I'm wondering
think-
if any of the
hang on,
movie's
all right,
actually
so-
going to be what we saw in the trailer. But
Its
yeah.
fatal flaw as Falcon is Captain America. I mean,
Yeah.
they
And too
can't
many
fix
women.
it. They already screwed it up with
They
the
gotta- they
Captain
gotta-
Falcon series.
They got to take
They
that
got-
Israeli chick out.
Well, they already recast. I mean, they
Oh,
didn't
did-
recast
yeah.
her, but they changed her character. But
They changed
so
her.
They
Yeah.
invested $400 million in production alone on a movie starring Anthony Mackie. That's the problem.
So, by the way,
Well, hang on. While I'm thinking about this, you guys all saw the trailer before it was
Right.
released in theater, right? With the Captain America. Did you see the fact that they removed the shooting of the president? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah,
I didn't notice
because there's a
that.
scene
Oh,
where
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like Isaiah No, and he shoots at Harrison Ford's character, and you
Probably
see the
out of the
plate of
movie
glass
now.
shatter, or the
Oh,
the
that's
bulletproof glass.
right,
Yeah, they
yeah.
removed that from the trailer in the theater.
Captain America
they
4 is going to be
can't
one of
remove
those
that
fun ones. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, they can't remove that out of the film because that's supposed to be
No.
like the breaking point of like the movie. That's supposed to be
They
like
removed
the
it. They removed it from the trailer.
The trailer,
No,
yeah.
Right, they're
they
hoping to
could
put a little bit
still.
more space between.
I was going to say this is going to be
between-
one of those fun ones though that where we watch when the movie comes out, we're going to be able to see how much different shit is in the trailer compared to the
Right.
movie itself.
Yeah.
I just want to
Sad
say
was
the
trying to make a
trailer.
point a minute ago.
The trailer in of itself, I think, was very well done. They really did a good job on the trailer. You don't know shit about it. It if you think about it too long, it doesn't really even look that good. But I did love the style and the way it was structured as far as the trailer went. And I think they may be trying to bank on putting a lot of quality and a lot of
Well, I think they're
resources
trying
into
to
the
make it like
trailer.
another Winter Soldier type movie,
Yeah.
which would be fine if it had Captain America, or if they just made it Falcon. I mean, come on,
Right.
it is the character
Did you
wasn't
guys-
popular in the comics. It's not going to be popular in the movies or the MCU.
Did you guys get the Venom 3 trailer too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Oh,
I've already
There were
seen
actually
it,
a
though.
lot of laughs in my theater for that.
But my final thoughts on it, or my spoiler takes on it, is that I thought, like I said, the movie was pretty mid for me. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. that there were just certain issues that were just staring me in the fucking face that I couldn't overlook. Like I said, best Wolverine we've seen on screen, hands fucking down. The chemistry between Hugh Jackman, God damn it, why am I blanking on his name again?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, thank you. Fucking turning into Biden here. It's just fucking phenomenal. The acting in the movie is great. It was really well done, but a lot of the stuff that, like, for me, that I took issues with is a lot of they beat several jokes to death. One of them I mentioned earlier on, which is the whole thing with Wolverine's costume. They did have a good payoff for the costume at the end with the reason why he has it and why it means so much to him. That was good. Yeah. Not complaining about that. But it was this reference so many fucking times. It's like 2-3 times, fine with, but they kept beating that fucking horse. That was a lot of jokes in this movie. They kept beating it to death. And it's the same thing when they're ripping on Disney. It's like, you would think that I'd be like eating it up. No, it actually got annoying after a while. It's like, we get it. Disney's awful. You guys are being self-deprecating. But let's move on. Okay. It's like,
I guess it didn't bother me as much, but I can see where it's going to age poorly.
Right. Well, but
yeah, that's the other thing too, is that there's a lot of shit in this movie that is just simply not going to age well. And it's because of how self-indulgent it has been with being self-referential with a lot of stuff, and with the jabs at Disney. It's like that shit's just not going to age well.
Well, and there was jabs at real life stuff too.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of have to push back too on the idea that this was like the best representation of Wolverine, because we're essentially already competing.
Thanks so much. Night.
On one hand, you're saying that it's the best representation of Wolverine, but you're also saying that this film is also going to age poorly, which means that in a few years, no one might view this as the best representation of Wolverine because of how poorly it ages based on its content. So,
well, and here's the thing where I think people are coming from, though, is Jacob, is that it's more so it's like, okay, yes, Logan is still probably the better film objectively, right? And at the end of the day, but what I think Nick and other people, and of course Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, are trying to say is that this movie portrays Wolverine as the way people have been wanting to see him.
Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, here's an example.
25 years ago.
Suicide Squad is a legitimately terrible movie, but there's a movie that has, in my opinion, a lot of really good moments, right? It's still a shit movie, but there's such good stuff in it that, it outshines how crappy the movie is. And I'm not going to say that this movie is crappy. I don't think it's crappy at all. I just think it's mid. And there's a lot of stuff that make it shine, but as a cohesive movie, it's got a lot of problems, and that's the reason why I drag it down a bit. It's a movie I would definitely watch again. As a matter of fact, I'd like to watch it again just to see how I feel about it on a second watching. Right. But overall, it's that there's plenty of movies that I enjoy that aren't good because they have like these great character and human moments in it, and that's what this movie has.
I think I wish they would have leaned about it. I wish they would have went more with the in-universe jokes rather than the meta humor, because that would allow it to age better. And I find it better as far as the comedy goes when it's in universe, rather than constantly referencing.
As much as I appreciated it, because I was like the only one laughing though in the theater at some of these jokes, because I didn't.
Well, I mean, I was laughing a lot. There's a lot of people in my theater. That
well,
were
no.
Yeah.
Let me say no. My point is this: it's like I had a very small screening because it was the second showing of the movie, but it was the first 3D showing. Okay. So there was literally only like a dozen of us in this theater because nobody else wanted to see it in 3D, obviously, and they had like I think another show starting a half hour after mine. So like literally every theater was showing it. So nobody wanted to go to the 3D showing. So it was a pretty slim theater. I was literally the only person laughing at any of the meta jokes. I think Mad's right. This movie would have been better. All of them.
So
all of them.
So there was meta within meta. So
okay,
are you talking about the
MCU
meta about like
stuff?
Disney?
Okay, let me rephrase that. Okay. So anything that had to do with the MCU stuff rolled fine. Anything that had to do with the X-Men stuff rolled fine. Anything that had to do with Kevin Feige, Disney, the corporate politics, the woke jokes, actually, some of those I actually laughed at that other people didn't. One girl behind me got a few of the jokes that I did. So actually I was kind of impressed with her. And her boyfriend clearly didn't. So like that was what I was saying. So like her and I were like the only two in the theater who seemed to get a lot of those jokes. Otherwise, like anything that was like movie related within the universe rolled well. Anything that was outside of the universe, they were kind of just like, huh, or didn't get why I was probably laughing and I was cackling my ass off. But anything Kevin Feige related or anything like that. So I kind of
feel like the Disney jokes were bait for us, the critics.
Oh, well, they work, and I appreciate them. But this is why I said this is basically like if South Park made an MCU movie, and Pro said, that is brilliant. He goes, that's exactly the way I felt walking out and I didn't know how to word it. He goes, that's just it, Tom. He goes, that's the kind of humor, this meta humor this movie has.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go into this with that mentality thinking it's good, and it is a balls to the fucking wall comedy. Like it is gory as shit, has tons of F words. I think we saw the top of Pete's Peter. I'm not 100% sure
did
yet.
we really? Damn.
Well, I mean,
Brahma,
when he's in the Deadpool suit, he's definitely
I think he's got it
endowed.
tucked up and it's sticking out the front. Like
I'm not sure, but
I don't know. I think that bulge
night.
was just his balls. Was my point. I'm not 100% sure either.
Which is
but
why the chick
don't
liked
look
him
at me
the
for
end.
looking at like they literally start there and zoom up on Pete. Like so,
No, I'm embarrassed. I didn't catch it.
I thought the whole Peter thing was one of the funniest things.
tons
in
of
the movie.
gay jokes.
Oh yeah,
right?
dude.
Tons of gay
So
jokes.
Yeah,
there were
Strong disagree.
when I was talking about the meta upon the meta upon the meta. I mean, the jokes that really didn't hit with anybody, I think, except for me in the theater, was the Daredevil's dead and Jennifer Garner being like, okay,
I agree.
And then when he was talking to Hugh Jackman, and there was something about his divorce. There was a fourth wall breaking all the way to Hugh Jackman about his.
They said he let himself go because
happened.
after the divorce. Yeah.
I mean, they
This
took
was a
it
lot like a
levels
roast, like a
upon
South
levels
Park.
to get all the way out.
Like South Park, that was my point, right? Like it does go to that level where you have to be that savvy with a lot of the modern, and that's again stuff that's going to hurt the movie. They should almost do
it's
like
stuff
an
that
MCU
people just won't
cut.
understand later.
Right. They should almost do like an MCU cut where they take out all that meta humor and just leave in the MCU meta humor, right? Like then it'll probably survive longer, like an alternate cut of it, because they did
But
an
I
alternate
also-
cut of the second one.
Comics
I also think that the fights
I know.
are good enough.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was
Who's gotta go?
going to interrupt you guys. Jacob has to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little late on my end of the world over here on the East Coast, but
Got
I'm
a
glad.
bedtime.
Yeah, right. I'm great. Thank you for you guys letting me on here so I can crap on this movie and ruin everybody's night. So it's a good time to enjoy myself. But
Jacob
yeah,
takes a crap. Gotta love it. Yeah.
yeah. So apparently, Culture is going to be on tomorrow with me and a few other people. So we'll get the rumble about this movie even further on tomorrow night's show on site.
Jacob, I'll try and make it. No promises though.
Like I said, I know it's gonna be late. It's gonna be at 10 p.m. at Eastern time for us here. So hopefully you guys can make it. Check us out there. Still got the bar room going on Tuesday nights. We have the Bible Ends going on Sunday nights, and then of course I have reviews and other streams going on with Bounding in the Comics, both on the YouTube side of things and on the site as well. So we're working on a lot of content over there too. So go find me over there so you guys can have an opinion about all kinds of stuff. So.
Thank you, sir.
Now this is the part where you cannot toss me out.
Good to see you, bud.
Shut up, Nick.
See ya.
See that guy again.
Yeah. So
Fucking gay.
Tom did not
is
meet
the,
himself.
is the clip done playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
So-
didn't know it was playing. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it didn't show up on mine too.
Okay.
So we were talking about pacing earlier. I think part of the thing that will work for it, even though the jokes may get stale, is they had some pretty good fights and they had them spread out pretty well. So if you want to see the violence and the fights, it's spread out throughout the movie very, very well, to where every time anything starts to get like they're talking a lot, then you get a fight. And it's pretty much a big fight. Both of the Wolverine Deadpool fights are huge. The battle the battle at Cassandra Nova's place is pretty huge. The battle at the opening credits are huge. I actually heard the whole audience in the theater. I had already seen it, but the whole audience in the theater almost groaned when he puts on Wolverine's claws, and then it goes to the flashback, because they were like, "Oh, we're doing this again, but it only lasts for like 5-10 minutes of exposition, and then they get right back to him with the claws, right?
I didn't have that in my screening. Interesting.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that was the only place where everybody was like, they're doing that again. I mean, because Deadpool kind of has done we're in the middle of action, let's flashback.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're wondering how I got here.
That's a movie trope, right? How did I get in this position? And then they flash
Well,
back.
they even
to,
make a joke about the one part where he goes, "You want to tell me why you won't take the suit off, or are we gonna have some third act flashback exposition or whatever?" Yeah.
And
like,
we
fuck
did.
off.
It also helps that a lot of the dialogue lines are really quick in its delivery, and also with Deadpool Wolverine stories, I feel like those are the type of stories that are timeless, old as time type of stories. Guy who failed at life, who's now trying
gets redemption.
Yeah,
as old as their last movies.
I feel like those things will help in terms of its aging. Yeah, you can make a lot of arguments towards the in-universe jokes and the culture war reference and all that, even the wokes, anti-woke, woke, whatever you want to say. Yeah, sure, I could see that. Now, if you're a comic fan, I'll tell you this, as someone who's been on that side of the aisle, we never get sick of seeing the nods, references to that stuff, especially when it's done very tastefully. We'll eat that up 100 million times over. And stuff like seeing the Incredible Hulk 340 cover or the X-Men 251 or brown suit, stuff like that, we'll gawk at that because that's what geeks do. But
another thing too. Fuck it. I lost my point. Never mind. Go ahead. Continue on.
We're deep enough now that I think anybody who's still here is probably, I mean, they can be spoiled on anything.
Yeah.
The nice pool killing
was fantastic.
Absolutely hilarious.
Oh, that was
he
fucking
uses
hilarious.
him as a freaking shield against all the bullets, expecting that he has regeneration. Yeah. Powers, and then Nice Pool sitting there coughing up blood, and he's like, "So how long does it take you to regenerate?" And he's like, "Regenerate?"
I love that the golden 50 cal the Desert Eagles pay off.
Desert Eagles.
Like, this motherfucker.
Yep. He's like, "But I got these, and I'm gonna remember him with these."
In his defense, he did use life saving CPR trying to save him.
Yeah, he tried to get to the donut shop, yeah.
Okay, I mean, sure, it was a wasted effort, but can we get back to that plot hole?
If you want to.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Basically, what Brahma was saying was he goes to 616, which is the main thread as far as the multiverse.
The Supreme timeline. It's the one they're trying to recruit him to.
Yeah,
right.
And that's
his
called
is
the
being
sacred
destroyed.
timeline, and that's all TVA bullshit from Loki. I don't know if that's actually in the comic or not, because the TVA is something I'm not familiar with.
Right. So how did he get there from his universe?
That's the problem.
Allegedly using Cable's device, but
that was a time jumping device.
I know.
The only thing you could say is that Yukio and Semisonic Teenage Warhead or whatever.
I totally ship Yukio and Deadpool.
When they fixed it, suddenly they fixed it in a way that he could jump multiverses too. I mean, that is the big plot hole in the movie. That, and what is the reason for any of this happening? I mean, his timeline's dying because Logan died, but Paradox's superiors say that Deadpool's special, while everybody's basically telling Deadpool that he's not special in any way, and it was Logan that was special. So they were plucking him to put him into the main timeline.
So they were saying Deadpool's special, but Logan was the anchor. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Two different things. You could be special, like, we'll save this one. You're recruiting, right? Like, the team is blowing it up because they keep having losing seasons, right? So they want to get the #1 pick. So now they're selling off all the parts. And so they want to grab who they can. I'm not real sure why Paradox wants to destroy everything quick so he could be all powerful. I don't know.
I've got to address in chat because Ron has said it a couple times. Ron is wrong. He used a TVA tablet later.
Yeah.
He went to see Happy Hogan before he had any involvement with the TVA.
Right.
That is where the
And that's how
plot
they-
hole is. He
that's how they
jumped to a
recruited.
different universe or multiverse. He went to Earth 616, and then he went back to 10,005. Then he gets plucked from the timeline. He
The
does
only
not have the
explanation I can
TVA
think-
tablet at that time.
The only explanation I can think of is that in some roundabout way that they didn't want to have to explain to us that when he changed the timeline, he went from one timeline to the other. That's the only thing I can think of. But otherwise,
But they,
you're still
they
right.
specifically addressed that, saying that
know.
he was screwing up the timeline a lot. They didn't say
Yeah.
he was screwing up multiverses a lot.
I know, and that's the funky part. But the problem is that yes, when Deadpool 2 was made, Fox was still technically Fox, right? There was no
Right.
Disney yet,
Right.
and there was no multiverse at that point. So I mean, one could argue that time travel and multiverses are one and the same. That was kind of what I was getting at. I'm willing to let that slide, I guess. That to me wasn't as big of a deal. I mean, I get where you're coming from, though. If anything, they shouldn't have put that there. It should have been, because that's the thing is I noticed by the end of the film is that regardless if this is an end to all of the Foxmen universe and Deadpool 2, or if it's a setup for possible future, it will never necessarily possibly even cross over with the MCU all that much, other than that possible tease they give us about why Thor is crying. Right.
Right.
Because
I just think, why didn't they have him try to join the Avengers in his universe? Why would they have him go to Earth 616?
And I get what you're saying. I don't understand why they put it there either, and I have to see it again to see which I know what you're saying.
It flashes it on the
Yeah.
like the middle quarter right side of the screen, Earth 616, and then Earth 10,005
Yeah.
when it switches to the other one. So, I mean, they very deliberately put it in as he was going to the Supreme Timeline or
I
whatever
mean,
it was
like I
called.
said, the only way I can get around that is that they kind of establish that once you start playing with timelines, you don't. A timeline is a timeline. Once you change something, you then end up in a multiverse, right? So, like,
No,
That's-
it's a splinter off of it, off of
a splinter
your
of
timeline.
your own
Yeah.
universe, not
Of your
off
own
of
universe.
the
Yeah.
multiverse.
I don't know.
I
but
think they just screwed it up.
maybe, and I'm not disagreeing with you there either. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to come up with some.
It's like the blip. Fuck it. Who's gonna notice, right, guys?
Exactly.
Kinda, yeah.
Or
And
the
I
fact that
didn't
there's some
notice
dude
it.
sticking out of Earth, right? Like,
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't notice it until the second viewing.
Yeah, and then you had to tell
Because
all of
I
us
didn't
to
even
ruin
see the
it.
word flash up at the Earth 616, and then the
But
second
anyways,
time I was like, "What the
my
hell?"
point is that when they end up at the end of the film, they're not in the 616 universe. That was my point. Is they're in this alternate
'cause
universe still?
10,005 continues on because he saved the timeline
Right.
of 10,005. But he could have joined 616. That's what the offer was.
Yeah.
But he had already been there. So technically he could have just stayed there when he went there the first time.
But he didn't stay
Yeah,
there.
he did
It's
the
not a
job.
huge deal. It's just one of those things that stuck out to me. Like,
Well, and the other thing
I
is,
don't
work
like
visa.
that they did that
yeah, I
because
gotta
it
watch
screws
it
up
again.
things even more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not a perfect movie. It is an enjoyable movie in my opinion. It's got problems. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that is simply just not going to age past a year, I think. But like I said, best Wolverine we've ever seen on screen.
I
And
think
that's enough that it might be watched over and
Right.
over again
Yeah.
because of the fights and because of Wolverine.
I
Yeah.
look at it a lot like Predator 2. Predator, better movie.
Mhm.
Predator 2, so much more fun because it's just bananas. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to hold up. It's not going to hold up nearly as well as what Predator 2 does. But as far as comparing to the other ones, like what Tom said, it was more fun than the first Deadpool. Not as good, but more fun. And then if you could skip Deadpool 2, because they're going to reuse that,
For me,
that whole
it was
plot for him
better.
anyways.
For me, it was better.
I wasn't as down on Deadpool 2, mostly because they kept
I
bringing
wasn't
in,
either. I
hated that
honestly,
movie.
mostly because
I-
they kept bringing in the acoustic version of "Take on Me" by Aha.
And I like the little Kiwi kid. He's funny.
that kid drove me nuts. That's why I hated
he
him.
he was
Oh, I hated the
annoying
kid.
for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it. I not a fan of race swaps, but I actually like Zazie Beetz as Domino. I'm surprised they didn't
Yeah.
bring her back.
She was great.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was definitely one of the better parts of the movie. But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't bring her back. They brought back
What we-
Peter.
What we
He
haven't
said
talked
in the
about
movie
is
they
the-
tested badly.
Did
yeah,
they?
they tested badly.
I missed
That's
that.
what he said.
Yeah,
He goes, "Where?
he
what
says
about-"
it was
Go
when he
ahead.
was with Happy, and they were talking about, well, do you have any experience working with a team?
Well,
He was
no,
like,
no,
oh
that
yeah, I was in
part-
Special Forces. And
he said I was an X-Force, but that didn't work out. Yeah,
and then he asked him why, and Happy asked him why, and he said, "Well, the police called it gravity, but really it was just they didn't screen test well."
Well, the whole joke is that they all died fucking falling out of the helicopter.
Right, which is what he's saying. They killed them off because they didn't screen test well.
So even Domino, I think, falls into that category too.
I bet if she would have shaved her armpits, she would have tested better.
See, because
we haven't talked about the after credit scene.
Oh yeah, that shit. Okay, yeah. There's a scene where basically the Human Torch gets his skin ripped off.
I love that because everybody keeps calling him that Johnny kid, and then finally Deadpool's like, "Why does everybody keep calling him a fucking kid? He's 50.
Like 50 years old."
50.
That shit was fucking funny.
So when they first meet Cassandra Rose, he tells Cassandra all these things that Human Torch has been saying. And you think of Chris Evans as being the squeaky clean guy from Captain America.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the one saying all this crap.
Things, and
he's like, I didn't say anything. And then the after credit scene is Deadpool literally has the recording of Johnny Storm saying all this crap about Cassandra Rose, word for word, and saying, you can quote me.
I think it was hilarious. I think it was hilarious, but it doesn't explain why Wolverine was like, he didn't say any of that shit.
I was just trying to not get him killed.
Well, first of all, he didn't say it in the first. No, in the first cut, he didn't say all of that exact shit.
Right.
They cut around some of it.
Right.
So then at the end of the movie, he actually pulls the full video. But that's kind of the joke on the audience there. But you're right. Like, part of it is just because, Logan's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to get this kid killed.
You're getting him murdered.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of my few complaints, is the portrayal of it. For the context of Deadpool, I get why they did that. But at the same time, it's just like a lot of that dialogue, especially at the end, felt very on Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm, no pun intended. Yeah, he's a hothead, but he doesn't go on an expletive laden rant the way he did. But
I think that was a fourth wall Chris Evans.
That was
joke.
more of a Deadpool,
and maybe that
joke.
Was, and that.
Well, and like I pointed out on me too, Nick. Remember, he's been there for like 20 some years now.
And that's fair.
So he's been in like this
any of us
Mad
could
Max
be that
world.
way. Yeah.
Well, and remember,
and he lost all the other Fantastic Four too. They're all dead. That's
but
he's the only one
also
left.
remember when they first interact with him, and Deadpool still thinks that he is Captain America instead of Johnny Storm. The first time he says something off color, Deadpool's like,
yeah. But I knew the whole time.
Built it up for the payoff.
Yeah,
well,
I knew it the whole time that it was
Johnny Storm the entire time, which was
Same
cool
here.
for me. I thought it was cool, and I'm not sure if you guys caught, but I caught the Fantastic car they were driving.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, they're driving that. Yep. I thought that was really cool to see that. I was like, oh, sweet, it's a Fantastic car. And you had Pyro, you had Lady Deathstrike, you had the original Sabretooth, Tyler Mane, from the very first movie. Recasted Lady Deathstrike.
They recasted Psylocke. They recasted
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
So my guess is, I'll bet you, if they got this many people to come back, they probably tried to get as many originals as possible.
Everybody from Fox.
They couldn't get back.
Mm-hmm.
They probably
and then they ended up with Jennifer Garner.
Either as they died or they recasted them, is my guess. Because I'm sure they asked as many as possible, and then some probably either just didn't want to do it, and then some there could be schedule conflicts.
And then they had to go with their 12th choice, Jennifer Gardner.
She was casted early on, though. Go far back as when that movie was announced.
She's just that desperate then.
Of course, that two things can be true. Sure, of course she's desperate. She's looking for work, but she also was one of the very earliest casting announcements. I remember hearing about that. And like, oh, okay, I could see that. And
her scene could have been. She may have not had been playing that particular role in the 4 people or whatever that helped them. She could have just been a smaller cameo. But since no other female from Marvel from Fox wanted to come do it, they just ended up with her.
If you had Halle Berry as Storm, right
there was so many.
I was surprised they didn't get Halle Berry or Anna Paquin back. Now, for all we know, maybe they asked them both and they didn't do it.
But
Of course
it's
they
just
had
like I tried looking into both their careers. They're both not really doing a whole lot, so they must have really just not been interested to doing this because they're both not doing a lot nowadays.
Well, we've already had the cameos from a lot of the other X-Men people in the other films too.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
at
sure
least first
part of
class.
it. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. And so I'm sure part of it was they're just trying to get in a few of the other ones they hadn't got in yet, a few of the other Fox movies and stuff.
What
like
would
that.
have been hilarious is if they had pulled in a Colossus into the Void that was just foul mouthed and completely the opposite of the Colossus that they've had in Deadpool.
Yeah,
because they already had
that would have
Colossus
added
in the
another
movie.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would have added another 10 minutes to
Yeah,
the movie.
probably would have.
I did
All right,
like
but
that.
hang on, guys. I want to get to some super chats and comments. So, Eternal Dragon says one movie won't fix the underlying problems with the MCU. Not in the slightest. I completely agree with that statement. This is something that we've all been talking about. Is this movie going to say the MCU? The answer is no.
No.
The MCU is going to be followed
It's
up
not
by.
meant to.
Yeah, exactly. It's not meant to. We still have
This is an
Brave New
ending
World
for
coming out.
Fox.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate than anything else. This is more of a send off for the Fox universe than anything else.
Yeah,
Will we get
if
another
you wanted
Deadpool
to call
movie?
it something, it's
Probably not.
Deadpool kills off the Fox universe.
Yeah. But yeah, there's still a lot of issues that they need to fix, and I think by the time they end up fixing them, no one's going to fucking care anymore. Actually, I would say the majority of people probably don't care now.
Enjoy this for what it is, and it'll be
Exactly.
$1 billion movie, but that's all it is. This is
Exactly.
a movie separate from everything else.
Vistra, I had a great time with Deadpool and Wolverine. However, I acknowledge that the weak plot writing and I wanted more cameos than we received, even though the cameos were neat.
See, I'm actually of the mind that I'm glad we didn't get that many because I thought we were gonna get like armed and loaded, like an arsenal.
Yeah,
of them
I was
cameos
going
a
to get
minute.
cameo in the movie.
And no, obviously everyone's gonna have their own interpretation of what they consider cameo of the movie. To me, I thought it was gonna be like 50, 60, and that could just be me, sky highing my expectations. But it ended up probably being like somewhere.
Yeah, I
around
was
10,
expecting it to be
15.
like Flash.
And I'm
expecting
fine
it to be
with
that
that.
obnoxious.
I'm fine with it not having that many. I think the ones that they did have, they had a purpose. Once again, Channing Tatum, his Gambit, he had his opportunity. Wesley Snipes as Blade got to finally come back and do the role and show that he, no matter what happens, he is always Blade. I guess you could say for Elektra. You could say maybe it was redemption for her role in the movies that didn't do so well, kind of like the equivalent of Andrew Garfield when he was Spider-Man. You could say for Laura Kinney. I actually like Laura Kinney in this movie. I didn't like her in Logan, but I did like her in this movie.
I thought she did fine.
I
in this
thought she
movie.
had a great.
Yeah.
I thought
well.
when she had the heart to heart with Logan.
Yeah,
I
that was
thought
good.
that was a good heart to heart, and I was just like, man,
Well, and
if she was
that's
written
like one of the-
this more. I'd like her. I would like her more.
That's
if I
one of the
saw
things
Blade.
I have to praise them for was not shitting on legacy characters like they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could have very easily made it into Girl Boss the movie if they really wanted to, but they chose not to, and that was a wise decision. But again, it just goes to show you the person who had creative control of this movie was not Kevin Feige; it was Ryan Reynolds, and that's the reason why it turned out as well as it did. Yeah,
that's what we wanted, though. I mean, all we've said the whole time is if Ryan gets his way, this could be a good movie.
Yep.
I think Ryan got his way for the most part.
And maybe somebody should have pulled back just a little bit with him.
Yep. All right. Argentum says, anyone else see that the Acolyte costumes were on display at Comic-Con? Nope. I have not been paying attention to Comic-Con.
So what? They had those Air Force Ones or whatever she was wearing. The Chucks. What was the shoes?
Yeah,
it
Chuck
was that they just painted over black and put Star Wars stuff on it.
Uggs on or something like that. Yeah,
I forgot what the shoe was. Yeah.
Ronald's Wrong says Dogpool is the best.
Oh, I love
Dogpool. That was adorable.
I did not like watching Ryan Reynolds open mouth kiss the freaking
Oh my
dog
god!
for 5 minutes.
Strong disagree. I slid right off my seat. But
I bet
there
you
was
would.
there was a service dog that was sitting one seat down from me and just loved that part of it. Whenever the dog was on the screen, just would set up and just watched. It was 100% on.
Star. He's a movie.
All right.
Yeah. It was a weird experience.
I only watched the Wolverine 2013. Oh, I mean,
That's maybe the worst of them.
I enjoyed it. It had problems, but yeah, it was. I know a lot of people don't like that. Origins is the worst. Legit. the worst.
I rewatched that movie for the first time since 2009, and I didn't hate it.
Which one?
I really Origins Wolverine. Now there are some really dumb parts about
I
it,
fucking hate
like
that movie.
obviously Ryan Reynolds being not Deadpool. Obviously, it's awful, but there was some pretty damn entertaining elements to the movie. Like the Sabretooth stuff was really fun.
Liv Schreiner's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I wish he was in this one.
It would have been funny if they killed the first Sabretooth and then had Liev Schreiber also as Sabretooth.
That would have been funny.
He's probably busy recording Hard Knocks. He does the voiceover.
Gotcha. Bad Take Bochin says, I think you're underselling the fun. Our theater had continuous outbursts of cheering and clapping. A lot of people laughed. There was definitely a lot of cheering when the cameos happened.
The cameos.
I wouldn't say I was underselling it. My theater had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. There's just issues I have with the movie, and overall, like I said, just like I pointed out with Suicide Squad, there are a lot of good moments in that movie that I really enjoy and like, but the movie is garbage. Obviously, this one is not garbage, but like I said, it has its problems. Eric K for $2 says Tom is done playing with his other friends. I see.
Oh, long last name. Just put Hulk Smash in the chat, and that just reminds me of the Smash-turbate.
Oh yeah,
line in the movie.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
I'm sorry. What is that? It's where you take the Hulk hands and then you look at your midsection and you just start pounding away.
It doesn't work as well as what you think.
Yep.
I know you've tried.
Yeah, of course.
Mark says, I love the Cavill cameo. That was good.
I thought it was great.
That was a funny comment. Okay, so Aaron Ratliff says, nothing I've heard is back to you. I don't know if you changed your mind. Nothing I've heard from any of you making me think this movie is worth $16 and $12 for gas and 2 hours of my time.
Oh God, no.
We've talked for 2 hours and 40 minutes pretty much about
I
how
spent over
good the movie
$100
is.
on this movie tonight. Between this shit,
I've watched it 3 times already.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not watch it 3 times if the first viewing was so bad. And there's not many things I watched 3 times within a 24-hour period.
Yeah, fair enough. Tina Guzman became a member at the I'll buy that for a dollar level.
That's bullshit.
Laurent Dad says there was a full claw to ass penetration. Actually, yeah, there was. That happened several times. Actually,
yeah.
It was
the best one. The best one is in the opening credits where he's got one in the guy's dick and one in the guy's ass, and he's going back and forth. And the TVA agent is like, "You were a sick." It was good. I liked it.
That was pretty funny.
Jelly.
When Wolverine...
Deleuze says Nick doesn't spit. He swallows like a man.
Yeah, that's going way back.
There was a line in the movie about that too.
If
you're not going to swallow, spit it out.
Yeah.
When Wolverine's shirt popped off and Deadpool took a quick glance, a look.
The 8-pack.
That was fucking unnecessary, but I thought it was funny. Matthew T. The only thing good about Gambit was his cards and stick. That was perfect. But Tatum, his accent, the costume, absolute garbage.
Strong disagree. Loved his fucking accent. I thought he was great.
I thought they played into it and made it part of the joke that he couldn't understand it. But I do agree that the costume looked like a freaking Halloween costume.
He looked kind of fat in the costume.
How dare?
Well, okay. Channing Tatum is like a beefy dude, right? He's a big dude. Gambit is not a big guy. He is muscular, but he's pretty real thin.
He's wiry.
Yeah, he's very wiry.
Yeah.
Toxic Man Flu gifted 10 memberships.
Yeah, so this is how I know you're wrong. Mr. Grant Gregory, who has an accent, said he loved the accent. So everyone who said it was a bad accent is wrong. Man, exactly. Correct.
Someone
That's all done.
All Tom on
Push
Midnight Edge After Dark. Someone from Alabama saying that they were, and said that I guess apparently they are someone who can understand that type of accent. Said apparently Channing Tatum nailed the accent.
Yep. And he showed everybody he could do it in Hateful Eight.
Mm-hmm. He did nail the accent. I'm saying that the costume looked like crap. I think him as Gambit was great, the accent, the charging
Gambit's
the cards,
a skinnier dude,
the
right?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Right.
Gambit's
wiry.
a taller, skinnier.
Skinnier dude.
He's
Yeah.
lanky, right?
Yeah,
Strong
he's
but
wiry.
lanky. And from there, that's how I always saw Gambit, and I just don't see Channing Tatum.
Yeah, like I
as
said,
that.
he's too beefy of a dude to play
his
him.
face was too fat for that stupid
Mask. Yeah.
mask thing that they had going on.
Well, I mean, it looked accurate to the character. It just it didn't look good. And Tabitha, you need to knock it off.
Yeah, it was
You're
it was accurate. It just didn't look right on him.
I didn't
I
hear
mean-
you guys saying it with Boba Fett when he put his old thing on.
I complained
I don't
about that
think-
a lot. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, fine.
I don't
Okay.
think
I don't
Taylor
have any more
Kitsch would have
defense for
looked good in that costume
Taylor
either.
Kitsch looks
And
good.
that's the other guy who played Gambit.
Monkey
Alright.
Jeebus said fat bit.
fat. Yeah. Mott Eric, only reason why Kevin Feige says Marvel must change is because he was told he needs to stop losing money. He still is the same asshat he has always been. Don't let him fool you. Bob Marley.
I don't know, because has Kathleen Kennedy been told to stop losing
No.
money?
No,
'Cause
she-
definitely hasn't stopped losing money, and she hasn't said she's turning around in any way.
Yeah.
I think
don't- I
Feige
can't-
literally thinks, yeah, we screwed it up.
Yeah, I think he does too. Because the whole Kathleen Kennedy thing is a big point. She's sticking to her guns on how crappy she wants to make Star Wars. Knock yourself out. Don't fucking care. Kevin Feige wants to turn things around, but I think it's going to be too fucking late by the time he does. Fatal
I think
J
so, too.
says, Mad Max Aussie taxpayer forked out a staggering $183 million for Chris Hemsworth. Hollywood flop Furiosa as a prequel struggles to break even at box office.
So
Yeah.
we haven't talked about that scene yet. After Sabretooth gets his head cut off in one rush,
Oh God, yeah.
Deadpool
That's
walks over
right.
and picks up the head and gives a whole
Oh, that's
Furiosa
hilarious.
talk
Oh my
about,
God.
I have killed your queen, Furiosa,
I
and
know
now I have a Wolverine, the only queen that is worth anything. And then he says he's gender blind,
Yeah.
so that's why he keeps calling Wolverine a queen.
I know, it's fucking
That actually brought up a negative for me. Not that scene, but that some of the ADR was a little bit like, oh boy, that's ADR shit. You know what I mean? Like it really stood out. It wasn't mixed well.
Yeah.
Those
I mean,
things stand out to me.
It was an incredibly funny scene, but only
Yeah.
because Furiosa came out this year. In 3 years, that's not going to mean crap,
Yeah, it's not
because
gonna be
nobody saw
shit.
Furiosa, so they're
Yeah.
not going to know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, that's kind of some of the issues with the movie that I was mentioning. All right, George the Giant Slayer, Captain BLM will destroy any goodwill Deadpool and Wolverine builds. I think you're right.
Yeah, I 100% believe that. This movie, as we said months ago, maybe a year ago, that even if this movie is good and that if we liked it, now that we've seen it, most of us like it, we're still saying the same thing. It's still a short-term win.
Yep.
I will probably watch it again, and I'm still going to call it a short-term win.
I'm not sure if this is going to be pronounced right, but Falcatino93 says, Tom, that blade jab was great for $1.99. Yes, it was. It was pretty funny. Also, Baron von Tossington became a member at the Take My Money Damn It level.
Thank you very much.
TZ Burton, this is the most exciting.
Jesus Christ, that scared
heard
the
you guys
shit out of
talk
me.
about a movie in a long time. Culture's gay. Yes, I know. It's amazing what happens when it's a movie that isn't laden with identity politics, shitting on the source material. Shitting on the source material and its legacy characters. Yeah, it's amazing. We can
Well,
actually
you all
argue
like
about
Fall Guy.
the quality of the movie.
Fall Guy was
you
awesome.
all like Fall Guy too.
Fall
It
Guy.
was an
Yeah.
awesome fucking movie.
Twisters was good. I saw Twisters a few days ago with my lady. Her and I really enjoyed Twisters, and Glenn Powell is a freaking rock star in the making. I
Yeah.
think probably one of the biggest problems, and it's not because of him. It's the problem is when you take him out of any scene in the movie, there's a slight quality dip because of how good he is in every scene that he's in. Twisters was really good, and even though he was not the main star, he carried that movie like he was the main star.
He's a scene stealer.
he's a script scenester. I hope he becomes huge. So, but yes, that's also saying yes. Go see Twisters.
Yeah,
if you got kids, go see Despicable Me 4 because that was fun, and it's also got a fun
Inside Out 2. If you got kids, my sister went. My daughter took 4-year-old. So Inside Out 2, the kids had fun with that.
See,
so
look at
Since
that.
you brought up Despicable Me,
4 positive movie endorsements in a row on Thursday Night Throwdown, a show where we usually rag on movies. You just got
Spider-Man's still the worst character in history.
Since you brought up Despicable Me, we've got to bring up the line about Gambit. Gambit says something, and Deadpool turns to him and goes, "Who is your dialect coach? The person from the Minions?"
Yeah, I thought it was great.
That was pretty funny. Ronald's wrong says smash debate. that line was funny. Mr. Gregory AI says, "Hey panel, I seen Deadpool. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm
higher
around there.
I'm higher for what the movie is right now. I think in the future it'll be closer to a 6, but I think it's an 8 for what is out now.
Yeah.
The way I felt about it was 8.5. The way I think it will be received in a few years, if anybody still watches it, is going to be closer to a 6.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
All right. Baron Von Tossington gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, sir. That was very kind of you.
Gets his own and then hands out 10.
You know what? We should play something for that. What should we play? I know it's up here somewhere.
Let's see.
That
let's
one?
see.
Yeah.
Is it
Spicy balls? Here we go.
I got that reference, man.
I knew you would.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
No,
man.
No, we'll play this.
We got... There it is.
No, that's Gary Girl.
All right. George the
Love that
Giant
one.
Slayer. Love the movie with its problems, but though the MCU missed big opportunity at the end when Deadpool's timeline was fixed to wipe out the entire multiverse, all hail comics and panel. Yeah, they did a great job. Well, actually, I'm going to walk that back a bit. They did it. They did a decent job of poking fun at the multiverse shit. The issue is they're probably still going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
The whole thing at least up through Secret Wars or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I honestly did not like all the Deadpool cameos at the end. I thought that part annoyed me. I think you could have cut that from the movie and it wouldn't have changed anything.
I think it was hilarious, and it's funny because that means that many Deadpools have been pruned out of their own universes because he's such a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all the worst of the worst, exactly.
Because that's the first Wolverine that's shown up in the Void.
Yeah.
But Deadpools get sent there all the time because they're all
that's the
dicks.
joke. And not only that, they're such a pain in the ass that nobody deals with it. Like they're just like they're like the wild gang. You know what I mean? Like,
And even Nice Pool is they're all idiots. They're all lovable idiots.
even Cassandra won't fuck with them. Like that's the whole thing.
I thought it was hilarious, and I loved the fight scene because I loved the one.
He's like, wait, there's a whole army of Deadpools, and they're like, yeah, but you don't want to meet them. They'll chop you up and eat you
part
alive.
I did like, I thought was funny was that then when they're done kicking the shit out of them, the baby's laughing, and then you see them all start regenerating. They're like, oh yeah, that's right, they regenerate.
So they've got the regenerative powers when Nice Pool didn't.
Did not.
He was the only one who didn't, and that's the one that Deadpool gets killed.
Yep.
It was nice.
Well, I knew he was going to kill him from the start. We all knew that.
Toxic Man Flu gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, sir.
Wolverine was mentioned, like when they were about to fight off all the Deadpools. Is like, holy crap! There's a bunch of you, and I get to kill them. How's this? Like, is that a projection to how you feel about dealing with Deadpool the entire movie? I thought that was funny.
Where did Mad go?
He disconnected, even though it says he's connected in the background. Mad refresh because you're disconnected live,
I thought he
even
jerked
though you're
himself off
disconnected.
He
in
was
the
trying to talk.
background.
We couldn't hear
I
him.
thought that's what that noise was.
No, that was definitely Tox.
That was my cat.
Uh-huh.
No, okay. Seriously.
The other thing
on stream, I see.
The other thing
was
about
perfect,
Cassandra
though. It just
Rose, I
sounded
would
like-
say, we
I hear the
talked
cat.
about them not having to physically defeat her at the end.
Can you hear me
But
now?
they did
Yes, we can
figure
hear
out
you.
a way to physically defeat her before the end.
Man, I said so much great stuff that chat wouldn't hate me for.
Oh God,
I
that
doubt
But I
sucks.
missed all of it.
So even as a
Say something
girl
about
boss,
finger bang?
they did figure out a way to defeat her, and they did have her defeated, and they let her go because that was the Wolverine arc. But they could have killed her at any time. I mean, with the help of the others.
Yeah.
So, is it a girl boss? Maybe a little, but
I
it's not a girl
didn't-
boss in the
I'd
way
say
that we've
no.
seen girl boss
I wouldn't-
before.
Girl
She's
boss-
actually powerful
Yeah.
because of what her power set is.
I was gonna say she's a pretty.
and they
formidable
could
foe,
have killed
honestly,
her
yeah.
physically
Yeah.
without doing the thing with the non-confrontation at the end.
I was
They could have
kinda
snapped her
surprised-
neck right then.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised how they let her be a bad guy and a woman. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's like it feels like certain parts of this film is Hollywood healing. Right? We're allowing a white woman to be the bad guy again. And not only that, she's not a real redemptive character. She has her chance.
Yeah.
And she
Right.
does enough just to let them go do their thing, but that was just because they let her live, you know. But that didn't stop her from, you know, trying to finish her goal. Or when she, you know, found out she was being fucked over, she went and, you know, fucked some shit
She
up.
basically granted a reprieve. She wasn't
Basically.
being good.
Mm-hmm.
No, and she almost, and you could
They-
tell she thought about it for a half a fucking second too.
Yeah, because
She was like there for a second.
Deadpool's
yeah.
like, "Don't you dare Johnny Storm me."
Yeah, that was funny.
She points at him and he's like, "No."
Yeah. Don't you dare Johnny Storm me. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
No,
All right,
and what's
guys.
weird is how much she actually looks like a female version of McAvoy.
Not as pretty.
You might
Yeah,
have a
yeah, I guess- yeah. Well, guys, we're almost to 3 hours, so I think now is probably a good time to call it. Matt,
Yeah.
we'll start with you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
it's already
hey, how's it
midnight.
going? Check out Land of Bad on Netflix. It's a legit movie with the lesser Hemsworth, not the bottom Hemsworth, the lesser one. In Russell Crowe. Big Russell Crowe. Boy, he gained weight. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing something with Grant, some AI stuff with him. Tomorrow night we're gonna be doing the Brahma, what's my stream called tomorrow night? Matt's Friday
I don't know.
night
Matt's
Bonanza.
Friday night recasting of Ascendant.
No,
Art.
that's not the title. Mad's Friday night Ascendant Bonanza stream. Yeah, something like that. That'll be tomorrow night at some time. I don't remember what time it starts. NCAA 25 is the Dark Soul or whatever of football games. It's ridiculously hard. Having fun though. That's it. My birthday next month.
All right.
It is.
Hello, Nick. Nick. All right. Nick's not home.
I get to go twice.
Nick passed
So since
out.
my birthday's next month,
Let's go to Brahma.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'll go with the Brahma.
So yeah, obviously, as I've said multiple times, I've seen it a couple times, 3 times. I thought it was a fun movie. Even on the third viewing, there was still stuff I caught. So it is one that you can see a few times. I don't think it will last years beyond this, but I think it is a movie to see, and I think it is a movie to see in theaters and then catch it on the replay once it goes to streaming. I enjoyed it. I think it'll be $1 billion movie. I think I was just short of that when I gave my prediction. I think I said 999,000 or something, or 99 million. But I think it's going to get there. So go see it. It's fun. As far as my channel, I'll be on Ascendant Art tomorrow, probably talking about this movie again. And
You're
then
lying, too.
Sunday mornings, we have the bullpen where we're talking politics, and
Shut
it's
up.
me and Little Chad and getting some guests on there, and we're just going full bore into the politics. So come check that out. I need like 40 subs to get to the monetization level. So if anybody hasn't, it would help. But,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cheers,
sorry,
everybody.
Before we go, there was some memes I do want to hit up. One is from Monkey Jeebus with the Orange Hulk. That's pretty fucking hilarious. The other one that he did is Big Mike's Cheddar Jumbo Franks.
That's made with chicken, some pork, and cheese.
Echo.
Yeah, that sounds like it's coming from Talks. That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Released McCracken, a good one earlier of me as Lemmy from the figure that Gary Nerdrotic bought. You're right there.
Oh yeah, right there. That's funny. Yep. All right. And now that Nick is here.
Hi, sorry, I was being responsible because outside the camera, I do have moments of responsibility. But anyways, Cobby's Comic Shop tomorrow night will be talking Wolverine Weapon X, and I did a review today for Nemesis Rogues Gallery from Mr. Mark Miller. Do check that out. And Toxic Tuesday will be back August 6th, talking Josie Wales for the first episode of Westerns Month. So. It's going to be huge and diabolical.
Josie Wales. Nice.
Yeah, and I'll be, of course, on Mead next week as well, and TNT next week as well. So thanks for having me. Deadpool Wolverine was fun. I got a giant cup in my hand, really thick as well. So look at that thickness. So you can see that thickness. So there's my proof. So thanks for having me, Comics. It's been good. It's been fun. It's been good to argue about a movie. Even when a lot of us enjoy it, we could still find things to bicker about. So it makes for a good show. Hopefully the chat enjoyed it. So thanks for being here and thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. John! I hear Tox's cat.
No, I think that was Tom snoring.
No, that's
Tom is muted. That was
I had to go
actually
let Sadie
Tox's
out.
cat.
She was growling at me. Did you hear her?
Yeah, actually, we did. That's a cat purring. Hi, Tom.
That's a cat. Oh wait, I got a thing. Hang on. Turn on. Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After. Damn crowd strike.
Not working out for you, huh?
Now you can't be
it
in
was
there.
kind of a bit. Of Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. He's got news for you.
Am I still banned?
I don't know.
Banned from what?
From Tom's life.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
You never show up in nothing anyway.
What the fuck? I would if I got invited.
You never show up in the chat.
Because I'm not on the street. Come on, man.
Well, I tell you, my cat's going fucking nuts. What are you going after?
Honestly, I
That's a
think you were
rock.
the most hated guest ever on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Oh my God.
Agreed. That's why I should be brought back.
Tox, don't put catnip in your lap.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Why am I
What?
still
I
on
put
the
peanut
screen?
butter on my
I don't know.
balls.
Why did you put peanut butter on your balls? What?
What?
Because
I thought that was a dog thing.
I just had a spoonful of peanut butter.
It's too much cleanup. It's not
I,
worth it. Don't
there's
try.
way too much multi-universe
I
stuff
don't
going on.
want to. Yeah, I don't.
Comics
wanna,
Division's peanut butter balls. Spread it on your balls and watch the dogs come a running.
That's right. It's made from short bees. Okay.
That doesn't make
And
any
now
sense.
it's time for readings from the book of
You did this last night.
Nostradamus. People of the future will reach for the stars. Few will obtain the goal. Many will fail, and a select few will need a step stool to see what is going on.
Namely, Culture Casino.
A siren with golden hair will come forth and reveal the secret to long life and happiness. But the age of Hak Tua will last only 15 minutes. It's almost over. Just as long as that joke. In the year 2424, the cackling joker from the Caribbean Sea shall arise from her knees, needing a towel, while the applause from the uneducated elites thunders on deaf ears. Hashtag I'm with her. Bees. Oh shit. Now, while the
speaking
brainless
of myself,
leader is
everybody
removed,
knows this isn't live.
he shall not know it.
That's
Rather, he shall eat ice cream on a boat with popping corn, fighting ponies, and his former nursemaid. And that's his wife. The great Oracle Fu Manchu shall be unfairly mocked for predicting a scenario of leadership transition of the Great Eagle. All will bow before him in August 2025. President Hakeem Jeffries, bitches.
Why August 2025?
A bell from below the Mason-Dixon line will amass great wealth. I know Bell's selling vibrating toothbrushes for women called the Hakami Tua.
I love how you
This has
decided
been
amass
reused
is
from the
spelled
book of
one letter off of
Extradamus.
Hamas and nowhere near amass.
It's not a mass. Yeah, it's totally wrong.
Hamas.
Hamas. It's Hamas.
It's one letter off of terrorist or taking over.
Yeah. And now it's time
nothing.
for yeah, I don't know what else is on. I don't know. My voice isn't working, so
well, your voice
fuck
is
this
working,
shit.
just not your lips.
Yeah, so the flu is not working. It sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what it
You'll
is,
be
man.
on F&T tomorrow.
Yes.
And then there'll be some Saturday shit. Brahma's going to do some Sunday morning stuff, and then Culture's going to have something happening Sunday evening. And then we get back to all this happening on Monday again. What a great show. I like it when I don't watch the movies and then I don't have to participate in the discussion. I think the panel and the audience appreciates that.
Well, we did have 3 super chats that said, "Hey, we can pay $5 to shut you up."
That's right. $100 super chat. I'll leave.
He super chats it himself and takes off.
That's right.
Where's it?
What's this $100 Rumble Rat that says "fuck you" comics? I don't get that.
Where is WG when you need him?
Okay, let me make sure I got all the Rumble rants. I get the one from TZ Burton.
Read it again. What the hell? Baron von Tossington, great name. Thanks for the 10 memberships and become a member, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And, figure we know what you're doing now.
TZ Burton, this is the most excited I've heard you guys talk about a movie in a long time.
Yeah, we got to that.
Yeah, I did get that one. Okay.
Culture,
right.
But you know what? You can say Culture's gay again, and for that, where is it?
No.
I just got so many of these fucking bits in here.
Yeah, they don't make it easy to find like it did with StreamYards.
I couldn't find them there either.
Really?
Yeah. Here we go.
All right.
Loves that Nick whenever he hears it. He just turns and sings it. So if we get together in San Antonio, I'm just going to have that on like an iPad or something. And then
just follow him around playing it.
Following
nonstop.
him around playing it. Yeah. And then I need the one from Tom, just gay. It's the drum kick into it that makes that one work.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right, folks, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, talking about the Deadpool and Wolverine. If you, I mean, it's, in my opinion, I think it's a movie that is worth your money. If you don't want to venture out, I guess maybe wait till streaming, but overall,
well, if you've stayed this long, you know everything that happens in the friggin' movie anyway. So
true. But overall, this is probably going to be the last semi-decent MCU movie, in my opinion. Yep.
Yeah.
So fucking gay.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks
everyone.
to Mad. Mad had to leave. He wasn't.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Here is some credits, and we will catch you next time.
Well, talk to me. The crowd is thinning. We're digging off, but the end is beginning. The stage is our battleground. We leave it all out. Guitars are
So, SFX.
There's no
I have a cat that's on the spectrum. And the white cat, who's very mouthy, thinks she's a kitten. And her name is Kali, which is the goddess of chaos and destruction.
Oh, she lives up to her name, doesn't she?
Oh, she definitely does. And she knocks... 2 days ago, she knocked a fully loaded CZP-10F off my desk.
Ooh, that's not good.
Nope. And dented my red dot. Fortunately, I had a second one.
That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, she is quite active. Has a good purr. She's a sweetheart. Yep. White
Yeah,
hair.
Tabitha's sweet. She just likes getting in my lap while streaming for some reason.
Oh, is that Mrs. Flua here?
Yeah, she's here.
Yep.
Tell her that she needs to give you a facial. Hi.
Yeah, they say you need to give me a facial.
Is that some really weird sexual thing I don't understand?
No.
Yes, the answer is
Are they
yes.
laughing at me?
Well,
Yes.
I'm pretty
You
sure
would-
it happened in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. You would be amazed how many times she's asked me that very question. Is that some kind of weird sexual thing I don't understand?
What
And
am I
most
supposed to
times I
sit
go,
on?
Yes. When we're together in San Antonio, ask me to tell you the splooge story.
I think I've heard the story.
I don't want to hear it.
No, it's perfectly innocent. It's pretty funny.
She didn't know what it meant. or that the time she told the plumbers she loves caulk.
Yeah, that one's funny too.
I have heard that one.
Yeah.
They needed to clean up after themselves.
They did need to clean up. They needed to clean up after their caulk. Yes, they sprayed too much caulk.
They used
They had to clean it up.
too much cock,
And you brought them
I
towels.
didn't want all the white messy stuff under the sink.
Exactly.
right.
I was dying.
I love that we can hear her.
Yes. It's pretty funny. All right, everyone. Good night. Thank you so much for hanging out.
And I
We will
bought them
catch you next time.
sandwiches. I